check Facebook. There it is. Just kicked on. Got it. Message going out right now. See, this is why we need an intern. Either way, we need an intern. I'm serious. And, you know, I could stick that in the news on Facebook. We would have an intern in one day. And that's someone who wants to learn graphic design, video editing, audio, $30 a show. I mean, how would you turn that down? You know, make $250 a week. It's not a lot, but you get to say you've worked for a podcast and you learn a trade, you know what I mean? What's going on, everybody? Talking about bigger and badder things. We were talking about things keep changing. We were talking about building a place for us. Then we were talking about like doing a modular, like going to Amazon and buying one of those modular backyard type things, which are actually cool. And then Olivia and I walk into our great room and we're like, wait a second, we've got a 30-foot by 15, 16-foot room with 2 major entry points, 2 barn doors, and we got a sound studio, full set, amazing lighting, everything we need. It's probably where we're gonna go. Holy shit, we need to get some people on Twitter. Hello. We need some help. Let's get some people on. God, we might as well just go. See you, folks. No show tonight. No Wimkin. Wimkin is having DDoS attacks on our server in our area, and there's nothing we can do. Jason's working on it. We had to book it. But we got a good show. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. Summer of Love 2.0 is on the horizon. Joy Reid predicts war with Canada. What? Rick Wilson backpedals this week. Oh, you son of a motherless. Unfair. I control this. Knock it off. Frickin' program timer. Rick Wilson backpedals as we continue to call out his behavior. It's great. I'm going to tear him apart tonight. He already has a huge asshole, but now he's going to have 2 of them. Mayor Pete stumbles over absolutes on DEI. Only Siths talk in absolutes. Trans people stats. Why not? The DoE Lie about the Department of Education. We're going to break that down tonight.
Oh, good.
Amy's rich. She has kids going to private school. And then an R3 update in overtime. It's going to be a good night tonight. Amy, I love the shirt. By the way, folks, if you did not know, well, let's go into the intro, and then I'll tell you about the Friends shirts in just a second. Happy Red Friday, everybody. Let's rock and roll. Hi, Amy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
You're wearing your top knot.
Yeah.
But you're broken. Thanks. What? Oh. That timer. It just hates us. What?
Can I switch back to Chrome? This
What?
just drives me nuts.
What's driving you nuts?
It's all completely different, and
Why?
my
What's
settings,
different?
it's slow as hell for starters.
Okay, sure. Go back to Chrome.
Thank you.
Yeah, but when it crashes and you complain, don't come to me.
Okay.
Cool?
Yes.
Because I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Because I fixed your entire computer today and took an hour and made it perfect, and you're going to ruin it by using Chrome on a Mac. But that's your call. You sure?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Positive.
All right. Hey, just want to tell you I love you.
I love you too.
All right, awesome.
There's nothing to do.
Man,
I love you.
You know what? No, Amy. No, Amy. Stay out of the fray. All right, rock and roll. Let's go. Moon's made of cheese. Roger Newman says Tomahawk coffee rocks. Yes, it does, sir. Yes, it does.
Agree or disagree, stop bothering me. 'Cause I It's Red Friday. RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
Hello everyone, good morning. Brandon from Still Point. Just wanted to give you guys an update on everything going on. Give a big hell yeah to Matt Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. The Barry Morgenstein photo shoot. There's Leroy. Look at him, looking great. Olivia looking stunning as always. Look at that.
Dude! I told, I didn't ask him to do this, and I'm like, you forgot Amy, but he redeems himself. No, he redeems himself. Don't worry, kid.
I saw.
Oh shit! I was like, dude, you're so in trouble. I didn't even tell him to make this. He surprised the hell out of me. I'm like, how did you forget Amy? Come on, man.
Baby, rocking the lid. Barry has done photo shoots with kings, presidents, the Pope, rock and roll royalty, Jimi Hendrix. Come on now. It's so awesome that our music is finally catching on after all this time. And we're going to always keep on rocking in the free world, baby. Make sure you tune in to the Don't Unfriend Me show every weeknight at 7 p.m. EST. The new stuff is dropping on all platforms very soon. We got it uploaded now, but we're getting on the Spotify playlist. You know how you have to do that. So be on the lookout for that. Go download it. Go support Still Point, and go support the Don't Unfriend Me show. Matt, Leroy, Olivia, Amy, we love you guys. Ethan, baby, we love you. And we will see you all soon. We're getting everything ready, and it's going to be badass. We'll see you on the stage soon. Keep on rocking in the free world.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt,
They gave him a shout out.
Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Nobody puts Amy in the corner. Nobody.
I'm just forgettable.
That's not it.
Ah.
Everyone on this show is named Amy, so it's just odd.
It's a little weird. How did you forget that, right? I mean, you think Olivia would be easy to forget. He even remembered Ethan. And I'm like, what?
He forgot Hayden.
But Hayden's never on the show.
Hayden's never on the show.
Yeah, Hayden doesn't put any effort into this. Ethan does. Ethan is like there's no doubt in my mind that Ethan
We'll take over the
business. I think Hayden will too, because she's going to be into politics and she's going to love it to inherit. I mean, once Youngkin hears that we have 250,000 fans in Virginia, in this area also, we have probably 20,000 fans in Virginia. That's a lot. We are in Virginia. We've got to be the top podcast in Virginia somewhere. Do you know anyone else who does their show in Virginia, Ames? You're a little blurry, by the way.
No, I can't think of anybody.
I can't think of anybody either.
I mean, I can, but not. I don't. Oh golly, totally different.
You got my glasses on.
Jeez, Louis, I can't get this right.
Okay. Nope. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Is Jason there?
Let's just run with it. Let's just pretend I'll squint. So I can't. I'm sure there's a podcast. There's probably like Cooking with Martha or some shit. That's good. That's brilliant.
Good.
So
good enough.
Don't lean back, don't go forward. Cooking with Martha or Mechanics R Us or some shit. But I don't know about any political podcasts that are in Virginia that are in our orbit, which is, I mean, that's kind of cool.
I agree. There is a girl, I don't know her name or her podcast, but I think she does pretty good. She's like a local girl too. I forget.
Oh, it's not conservative. Bless you.
Bless
you. It's not conservative, Mama, or is it Black Tea? It might be Black Tea conservative.
No, it's not. It's not even a political podcast. But like she's.
Oh well, yeah, that doesn't matter. Then. Who cares?
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm not going to compete with some. Yeah, I'm not going to compete with a linen club. I mean, who cares, right? I mean, that's just. but it's exciting. Anyway, so listen, some exciting news. If you have not had a chance to go over to thedumbshow.com, you should do that because, jeez, I don't know what that glitch is. Let me just see if I can. See, that's fine. But there's a glitch that flashes me for no reason. It's really weird. I don't know why. It's not the goal. It's not the likes. It's not. We're going to have to deal with it all show. I just might have to get away from it. You know, maybe that's what I'm going to do. That's a bummer because I love that transition. That's so cool. But is it noticeable?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
See how it flashes my mic?
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
So, I mean, maybe I should put a dick pic there and then, you know, just like
you like Fight Club?
It'd be like Fight Club, like just splice in a dick pic. I mean, that would be cool. That'd probably get us more donations.
Women viewers.
No, we already have enough. We have enough of them. We have enough estrogen on this show. We need more, you know, dick swinging guys. Maybe we can get some homosexuals on here with dick pics. Folks, if you're like, oh my God, I don't know what I've stumbled
maybe Tommy
into.
Lee will
Okay.
pop on. I heard he likes.
Well, you know who has a new podcast?
Mike Obama.
No, my best friend Dylan Mulvaney. That was in my little show I wrote today. So
it's. I was gonna put that on, and honestly, I thought you would hit that, so I kind of left it off. I've got it in bookmarks. Maybe we can get to it tonight. But if you're doing your show on it, let's not. Let's just.
I have a couple things on that show, but it doesn't matter. So
I'm excited for this thing. Amy's branching out, folks. She's gonna kind of do. We're gonna like her and Olivia want to do something, but we have to be careful because we need. Amy's jumping and Olivia's jumping, and they can't jump at the same time and that fast. They kind of got to have a parachute to go down. So we got to like do some recorded shows, do some things, see how it feels, and if we get some good responses, then they're going to have their own morning show, which would be ridiculous. And oh yes. Wait,
did you see that Crowder is now doing his show at 11 Eastern?
Yeah, they're doing it.
Today.
Well, and do you know that I know Dan Bongino's replacement personally, and he knows me by name?
No, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I would actually call us friends.
I've met him.
It's Vince Collines, and he used to do all of the Valor. The Valor, he would come to every Valor raise the roof. So I've met him. Dude, I've had conference calls with him. He asked me about my setup and said, dude, your set looks awesome. How did you do it? And referred me to a couple people to call me and have me help him with audio. So I know Vince Collines. Like that's somebody who I can say I know personally. He knows me. He knows the show. He said positive things about the show. I'm going to reach out to him and be like, dude.
Yes, please do.
You know, like let's figure out how we can. Because a lot of people said that, you know, and people I don't even know on the show who came out of the woodwork and were like, dude, you remind me a lot of Bongino. I hear that more than just about anybody else. You remind me of Bongino. And that's great for me because I like Dan. But I think it's not because of our personalities and how we communicate. I think it's because we have a lot of the same thoughts on world events and geopolitical events and everything else because, you know, we kind of do. Anyway, so go over to thedumbshow.com. We're not going to get this thing to work, but dick pic. So, I know what I'll do. Watch.
That is
we'll
weird.
just do this every day. Watch, here it is. There it is. Just a little dick pic. Anyway, so go over to thedumbshow.com and we have some cool stuff. I forgot to tell you, by the way, folks, you can get your own The Friends hoodie. That is correct. We are making them for everybody. It's real simple. Just like you would buy a t-shirt, just like you would buy anything else. All colors, shapes, and sizes are available. You will go over, got long sleeve, tank tops, whatever. You go over, and then if you look right here, when you hit add to cart, we've added a feature where you can go ahead and when you hit checkout, you can add to notes. And you can go ahead and write in a note right here and say, my name is Matt. And we will go ahead and make you your very own custom Friends Don't Unfriend Me show shirt that we actually did the photo shoot in right here. Well,
I'm going to get one made with Leroy's name on it just for fun.
Well, we're also going to have those for sale as well. So you can go over and get Leroy, Matt, and Amy shirts too. But those are now available. So if you want to go over there, you guys can pick one up. Just remember, don't forget to put in your name. But we have a bunch of new colors too. So, look at these. These are gorgeous. Look at these colors. All sorts of different colors available. Look at this. Look at this. Bam. we're doing it right, folks. So a whole bunch of new colors on the new female shirts. So we've got those in. They're in stock. They are ready to go and 100% for you. And then also what a lot of people don't see is we have the Don't Unfriend Me Show USA flag on the back neck. So when you put your hair up or whatever, you're good to go. But men, you don't have to worry about that. Last thing is you want to go donate. It's now hot linked onto the show. You can go over and donate if you would like right here, PayPal, Venmo, whatever. We have a goal tonight of $300. We would appreciate it if you could help us out. And this will be the first, hopefully, and last time that we talk about it. And we'll get into the show since we are on Friday night. We always go a little bit later on Friday night. We know this. Show goal is up. And let's rock and roll. Did anyone have anything to bring other than that?
No.
Okay. Frank Riley. Sorry. Frank Riley, 2375. Got to get an early start for you, Matt. Thank you, Frankie.
He sent that one in at 12:22 this afternoon.
That's my man. Amy, what were you saying? I interrupted you. Sorry, hon.
No, I was just saying we're talking about Department of Education and Elon Musk, right? Those are two of the topics I had on my little.
Yeah.
Today,
So go over it quickly. Summer of Love 2.0 is on the horizon. Joy Reid predicts war with Canada. Idiot. Yeah. Rick Wilson backpedals. He usually backs into things, especially in his love life. Mayor Pete stumbles over absolutes on DEI. Trans people stats. The DoE Lie. And overtime with R3. We have an update on my nephew and people care. So we're going to go ahead and tell you what it is. Red Friday is in the house, folks. Let's rock and roll. First one tonight is, have you guys been following all this stuff going on with Tesla?
Well, a little, yeah.
With all the cars being burned.
Yeah.
And the lady who had somebody stopped her in the middle of the road, which by the way, why would she not, sorry. Just kidding. I don't know anything about that.
Have you heard about the car burnings and stuff? Yeah. Well, let me tell you what else happened. This lady was driving and somebody stopped her in the middle of the road. It was just ridiculous. My God, it's like deja vu all over again. Thanks, Amy. Nice segue. I appreciate it. Why don't we just watch the damn video? Penis. Oh, I got to do the audio. Hold on. Let me get the audio. This is why we need an intern. If you're interested in interning for the Don't Unfriend Me Show, please reach out to olivia@thedumbshow.com. We will take applications. Hopefully it's Mel or Amy, one of the two.
Don't they have to be in-house to intern?
Well, Mel wants to move here. I told her she could live with us. I'm like, listen, once her mom leaves, you can come. Well, tell me you wouldn't let Mel live with us.
Keep the kids in line.
She cannot be in the guest bedroom, though. That would just scar her.
Well, where is she going to sleep? Downstairs?
She ain't going to get much sleep attached to our room. I'm just letting you know.
Probably why Hayden moved downstairs.
Yeah, well, that's why we had so much psychotherapy between the ages of 12 and 14 when she realized that wasn't HBO. Here we go.
She was driving a Tesla.
I was thankfully by myself.
Lee was on the way to a doctor's appointment in Linwood Wednesday morning when she says all of a sudden a driver behind her just laid on the horn as they came up to a red light. Things spiraled out of control when a white SUV followed her and cut her off, stopping in the middle of the road.
Gets out and walks straight up to my window. So I crack my window and I said, what is the problem? And he goes,
all right, ladies. You're driving in traffic.
No.
Somebody blocks you in your car. They are wearing this and they are walking up to you. What do you do? Hold on a second. Let me ask. What do you, pop quiz, hot shot. What do you do? What do you do?
I get the F out of there.
Wrong. Wrong answer. Amy.
I make sure that I load the gun in my car.
Your gun should already be loaded.
It's not. It's just I keep it separate because I have kids in the car and I just always want to be extra cautious.
Train the kids.
I know. I really should. I haven't, and I should. I just keep it separate. So I would, if I'm by myself, absolutely grab the gun, and then I would just run him over with my car.
Nope.
Because
call 911.
Nope. All wrong answers.
Okay.
Every answer is wrong.
Okay.
You have your concealed carry. You crack your back window and your side window to stop the vacuum. You rack your round and you unload your magazine into that fucking person until they're dead.
What about me? I don't have a gun.
You do have a gun. What are you doing? What do you mean you don't have a gun? Don't say things like that to people. You're scaring the hell out of me. Why would you say that? Why would you make yourself a victim? You have a gun. Why would you say you don't have a gun?
I don't know.
Well, why would you say that? Because now, see, okay.
You know, Holly would have blown over.
No, it will not. No, we have psychos who stalk us. Now they know you don't carry. So now I've got to go down to Virginia and get you your license that you've avoided for 6 months to make sure you're carrying, because we got psychos out there. Don't put yourself in that position, baby. Don't tell people.
You don't need a license to carry, by the way, here in Virginia. You can carry in your car.
Yeah, you can't carry it with you. Yeah, unconstitutional. Sorry, honey. You don't ever give people information that they don't need to know. Cool?
Cool.
I muted the mic on the other part where I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? Don't say that. Anyway, you kill the person. Because that person is stopping you from advancing. That is kidnapping. They have blocked your road and they are advancing on you, and you have the right to stand ground. You do not have to back up. You do not have to go ahead and do some maneuver. They are in a mask and they are going, in your opinion, to kill you. You end them. Running them over in your car, you have to understand what's going to happen. That person has the ability to draw. By the time you get it into drive, swerve around the front of them, they can draw a bead on you and put rounds in your windshield. You pull your weapon and you kill them. Period. And I'm telling you this from 100%. You have to check your state laws first. You got to make sure you got stand your ground. If you got stand your ground, put them down. Don't even ask a question. They are masked. They are a masked assailant. Okay?
Yes. So,
sorry, baby. You don't, like, we never divulge personal information online because that stays in there forever. Now, like, we just have to, now we got to get you armed, right? So don't ever, like, that's like saying, oh my God, my passcode to my house is 1275. You know, it's just something we don't want to tell.
Like the PIN number to my...
No, but listen, my job's to protect you, and I run OPSEC for us. You know, it's my job. So when you do that, I'm just like, oh my God, don't say that. Don't tell anyone. Everyone should think that you have a gun in your vagina. You know, like you have a gun everywhere. There's one in your boot. There's one in your backpack. You're one in your fanny pack, whatever. They should think that you're armed to the teeth. And although you are qualified, you haven't gotten your conceal, and you need to do that. But Amy's right. You can carry it in the glove box. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can carry it loaded as well. I double checked. But we do not have stand your ground laws here in Virginia. We have something else.
We do. It's not called stand your ground, but it's still the same thing.
Else. Yeah. It's like slightly different. I just had this explained to me.
Is it Castle Doctrine?
No, I'm trying to think. It's recent too. Like it just.
I'll just tell you what it is in Virginia, and it's not called stand your ground law. Right. If someone impedes your ability to get to safety or proceed on your way, it is kidnapping, and you have the right to use lethal force.
Yeah.
Period. So let's look it up. You looking it up right now? What are you working on, Liv? Are you posting it online and telling everyone about your concealed carry status?
No, I am posting the donation link.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's look it up real quick, honey. You got the computer working?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, hon.
So what is it? What is stand your ground law in Virginia?
Yeah. What's basically the stand your ground law in Virginia? So we know. And I read this somewhere already. I know for a fact because when those two guys blocked me off on the freeway, and the officer said you were within your right to kill them both.
Yeah.
It includes the Castle Doctrine, allows individuals to use force, including deadly force, if they reasonably believe they are in imminent danger
it's Castle
of
Doctrine.
death or serious bodily injury or harm without a duty to retreat, especially within their home.
Yeah, and when you are on a freeway and someone blocks you and you can't back up and you can't go forward, and then there's a ditch to your left and then there's other cars to the right, you have no ability to proceed. That is kidnapping. So at that point, I could have killed them both, and I would have been home for dinner. And the cop even said that. He even went up to the guy and goes, you're a fucking idiot that this guy has so much training and calm not to put rounds in you, because when you approached him with a weapon, he had every right to shoot you. So if someone ever does that, check. It's better to go ahead in this case. to protect yourself and ensure that you get home. But you're damn skippy. If someone cuts you off, blocks you, you're a single female and you are armed and they approach your vehicle in a hostile manner, nobody is going to question, especially if you have a video camera. So the first thing you should do is get recording in your vehicle. Second thing is ensure that you are licensed to carry, or you have constitutional carry or open carry in your state. And then even if you don't have the permission to carry, I would still use a weapon to protect myself. And it's better to get a gun charge than be dead. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Agreed. And I think most police officers would agree with that as well.
Yeah. Hey, Olivia is always alone between the hours of 9 o'clock at night and 11, walking on 7th Street. She usually takes a northeasterly direction, has a slight limp to her right. And if you go ahead and approach her from the backside, she won't be able to see you. And she also has an aversion to tequila. One shot usually will make her loosey-goosey. So hope that helps everybody.
Would you like my license plate number?
No, I've taught you better than that. When you said it, I was like, that was me scared. Like, because my job's to protect you. So, like, telling people, just don't tell people stuff like that. And I know that was a slip and it's no big deal. And yes, I've blown it out of proportion at this point. But right now, I want people to feel really, really sure that you're going to be carrying tomorrow, because now we don't have a choice. But you can carry in the car. Amy, do you want to go ahead and give everyone the update on what you can and can't do in the car?
In Virginia, you can carry we are a constitutional carry here, so it is fine to carry a loaded weapon in your car anywhere.
In your car.
In your car.
And it's not concealed.
You can conceal it in your glove box. You can conceal, yeah.
But not on your person.
Not on your person. Not on your person. You can put it in the seat. You can put it on the seat next to you. You can put it under your seat. Yep. It is advisable if you're not a license holder to, if you're not in trouble, I would probably let the officer know, like, I am carrying a loaded weapon in my car, just so you know. But you don't have to. You do not have to even tell them that unless, you want to.
Yeah.
But,
so I always tell the officer that I'm carrying, and I always have my hands at 10 and 2, and I've got my license and my CCL in 2 fingers, and it's on my left hand. And I say, officer, just want to let you know I'm concealed carry, and I'm waiting for your instructions on how to proceed. And he'll say, where is the firearm? I say, it's on my right hip. It concealed? Yes. He'll usually look over. Okay. Just don't reach for it, grab for it. And I won't grab for mine. Okay. And I said, sure. And hand it to him. And he's like, relax. Okay. And then and what's great is that the officer will visibly relax because they know that you have a background in order to have a firearm. So, Liv?
Yes.
You looks like you're reading something. What's going on? Is
I'm not
something
reading.
exciting going on?
Oh,
okay. Usually when you're in the world, Rumble's saying something funny or
no,
something.
I glanced down at comments every once in a while.
Awesome. So now that's the reaction that I would want you to do in this situation. What would you more than likely do in this situation? You got some guy, he's approaching the vehicle.
I can't stop seeing it. It's like,
what?
The
dick pic. Flash over.
Oh, the dick pic. I know. I'm just gonna I'm literally going to fix it. I don't know what the glitch is. It's really pissing me off though. I'll tell you that much. Okay, so now that ever since I got this thing fixed, it's been doing some weird stuff. So it's driving me crazy. So this guy approaches. Let's watch the rest and then get some ideas of what else we would do. Because this lady seems like to have went on forever. Everything she did was wrong. So here's her explanation.
Window, and I said, what is the problem? And he goes, you need to sell your car. This is a Nazi car. You're driving it. You need to sell your car.
Lee says she's been driving a Tesla for the last 2 years. She says a man wearing a camouflage jacket and a ski mask attacked her for it.
It's really sad, that this is what's happening to people who honestly, it doesn't affect how I believe or what I believe. It's just the car I drive. Being in Seattle, it was climate's important, our footprint's important. This seemed like the right move.
Oh my God, she's a liberal.
Yes, obviously.
A very busy family.
This, however,
you notice how nothing, I had my firearm on me and I restrained myself even though I was protected. Of course, because she doesn't. Because this woman does not have a gun. This woman does not protect herself. And if this guy decided to take a baseball bat to her window and start dragging her out of it, she had nothing. Nothing. And it's Oregon. And would you like to know a stat? Do you know in the state of Oregon, when it comes to highway patrol, that there's one officer for almost every 1,400 miles of roadway?
Jeez. That's sad.
It is ridiculously insane. It's a massive, massive forest, boreal forest of wetness and open roads and back roads, and they don't have enough highway patrol to sustain, to protect people. So the time that they would have found her body, who knows? She's driving a giant white Tesla, which is pretty easy to find out. But this guy is not ready to help you with a flat tire. He looks like he's going to kill you. He looks like somebody who's like Slava Ukraine. He's like ready to go fight the Russians or something.
Isn't the first incident or act of vandalism reported. We've seen attack after attack after attack. Teslas set ablaze at the Las Vegas Service Center earlier this week, with the culprit leaving behind the word resist. In Oregon, shots were fired at a dealership, and in Massachusetts, charging stations were torched. These incidents have only intensified since CEO Elon Musk has taken a prominent role in the Trump administration while slashing government jobs and spending.
Felt so intentional, felt exactly what he was there to do.
There was even a website, now taken down, sharing the personal information of Tesla owners to pressure them to sell their vehicles.
If it was to align with what we thought, that it's easy to just, turn over a $60,000 car and find something new that works. That's not a decision that everybody can make overnight. And I think that puts a lot of us in a hard position.
Now, since May confronted, Lee says that she started taking the highways in order to feel more visible and avoid those back road stop signs. At the same time, though, she also tells me that she's made several reports regarding this incident. We're waiting to hear back if this individual is going to be facing any consequences.
Still hasn't gotten a gun. So here's like alarm bells to me. Well, forget that. What are the alarm bells to you? Liv, what do you go, wait a second, what? When you hear that story, was there anything that made you go,
bless you? That she's actually thinking about selling her car. She just can't do it overnight. That's what I got out of it at the last part, that she's actually entertaining the thought of it.
Yeah, what else?
That freaking whoever is doing this, the left or whoever is burning down the Tesla and doxing Tesla owners, are just complete stupid. And I think that Donald Trump saying that they are domestic terrorists is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
They absolutely need to be labeled as that and treated as that, because there is no point to this at all.
Oh, well, there's a point. It's intimidation and it's fear, and it's people who don't have the coping skills, who can handle reality, who want to somehow. The only way Donald Trump could win is because he's a Nazi. He has to correlate to the lowest common denominator of society in order to win. So of course he's racist, because any person who's educated and not stupid and not a Nazi and not a redneck wouldn't vote for him. So of course all these people are just waste of life, degenerate, bottom of the barrel society people. That's what they think. Once again, somebody said, hey, do you think this could be a setup or staged? Well, she filed police reports. I do have confirmation because I've seen 2 of the reports. Freedom of Information Act is a beautiful thing. And you can get a basic underline without getting her name and everything else, and look at reports from daily submitted reports into police stations. All this stuff is public knowledge. They're a little bit slow. Usually it's within 24 to 48 hours. And the reason why they have to do that is that they have to post any of these type of grievances or police reports, not just for the victim, but the perpetrator. And they have to have legal ability to find any type of claims against them or anything else. So if somebody is named in a claim or a police report, they have a right to file a counter report and go ahead and object to those grievances. So you, me, or anyone else has the ability to access this stuff. The only problem is that usually names are blocked out unless you request it and say, listen, I might be one of these people. I was a witness. I was here that day. this sounds very familiar to me, or you get presented by somebody else who says, listen, I saw you on TV, or a local police officer came to my house and was asking questions and your name came up, whatever it is. So the question is, could this be fake? And if it is, she's going to go to prison, because falsifying a police report is a very serious thing. And what this guy did was a felony. It's a felony. It's attempted kidnapping. In any way, shape, or form. The moment he left his car and blocked her where she could not leave, it's attempted kidnapping. Amy, your thoughts?
And I saw more of this video than what was posted on that particular news segment. I actually saw him get out of the car and you could hear them having a conversation. And I'm like, who? Like, this lady is nuts.
Stupid.
Because I would not be having she's like, hi, is there a problem, sir? Like, I'd be like, I'm going to kill you if you don't back up.
Yeah.
Like, like there's just no option here. I'm just really like, can we get a billboard or like one every couple miles on every interstate to just go like hypocrites? You guys were literally in love with Elon Musk years ago. It was all about, oh, he's such an environmentalist. We got to have the electric cars. Everybody needs to drive a Tesla. You don't get a choice. You have to have an EV car. We're going to get rid of diesel. We're going to get rid of gas cars. You have to have a fucking electric car. Excuse my language. And now, because Elon bought X and has given everyone the ability of free speech, and we don't like that. The left can't stand it. They are crying over this. And now that he is now buddies with Trump, oh my gosh, it's just absolutely just straight up hypocrisy. You were in love with this man, You were so excited for him. He has done more for our country as far as technology and advancing us. I mean, he just rescued the freaking astronauts that were stranded for 9 months. That's ridiculous. Like,
right.
And now you're trying to tear down somebody who, one, has so much money, you'll never be able to touch him. And two, he's like best friends with Donald Trump. So I don't know. It's a lot of power. There's a lot of money there. And it's really frustrating that the hypocrisy is not being called out enough. I'm over it. I'm so over it.
I'm with you. I did an article today called "Libs Break for Nothing," and ultimately it's a play on word, breaks and breaks. Haha, breaks. They break things. Basically, the article is it's not too long, but it does kind of go into the left's hypocrisy, and it's funny because Amy did mention some of the things that was in the article. In fact, a lot of people have been sharing this and liking it. It's okay. You don't have to consume everything that I put out, because if you do, ultimately, it's a lot of stuff. But I'm gonna just go ahead and read it real quick. Maybe we should start calling the people burning Teslas to the ground and keying cars what they really are: domestic terrorists. Because if the left really believed the garbage they spewed for the last 4 years about threats to democracy, they'd be leading the charge to prosecute these vandals. But they're not. Why? Because the only standard that matters to Democrats is whether or not they like the target. Elon Musk became public enemy number one the moment he restored free speech. That was it. He opened up Twitter, exposed their collusion with government agencies, proved the censorship of conservatives wasn't just a theory. It was happening every day. He dropped the Twitter files and pulled the curtain back on the digital dictatorship they had built. So now they hate him, and they want to punish him. And if that means burning his cars in public to send a message, they're cool with it. No outrage, no calls to label these arsonists domestic terrorists, no Democrat press conferences. They just look the other way. Funny how that works. Meanwhile, the same people who stayed silent while Teslas are being destroyed were quick to scream terrorism when a few disorganized protesters wandered into the Capitol on January 6th. Most of them were nonviolent. Most of them took selfies and left, but they were hunted like war criminals. The DOJ under Biden unleashed a scorched earth campaign. Solitary confinement, SWAT raids, bank accounts frozen, people treated worse than real terrorists. And for what? For walking through a door that the Capitol Police held open. The left called them insurrectionists for years, and they were rotting in cells. But they aren't anymore. One day, on his second term, President Trump pardoned the remaining J6 defendants. And the left lost its mind. Why? Because they never cared about justice. They wanted blood. They wanted to use J6 to criminalize dissent, to equate disagreement with terrorism. And they're still doing it, unless the crime is committed by one of their own. Let's talk about the Summer of Love. Remember that? BLM and Antifa turned cities into war zones. Portland, Seattle, Minneapolis, New York, burning cars, looted stores, dead cops, $2 billion in damage. And what did the Democrats do? They encouraged it. Kamala Harris promoted the Minnesota Freedom Fund to bail out violent offenders. Celebrities tunneled money into the same bail funds. Prosecutors funded by George Soros refused to press charges. Mayors told the police to stand down. In the media, they called it mostly peaceful. That phrase should go down as one of the most gaslighting, disgusting lies in modern history. Those people weren't protesters, they were rioters, and they weren't punished, they were celebrated. Democrats didn't call that domestic terrorism. They didn't lock people up in solitary. They didn't freeze their bank accounts or ruin their lives. In fact, some of them were rewarded. They became community leaders. They were invited on TV. And now, when Teslas are going up in flames, we're seeing the exact same energy, the same silence. And it's not because the current administration doesn't care. The Trump DOJ is doing something. Investigations are underway, but the left isn't helping. Democrats aren't denouncing the attacks. The media isn't covering it honestly, because the moment a Tesla burns, they see Elon Musk suffering, and that's good enough for them. So if Elon Musk is now considered a symbol of government and free speech, if damaging one of his cars is considered political speech, let's talk about who else should be under scrutiny. George Soros, Bill Gates, Anthony Fauci, Mark Zuckerberg, all unelected, all pulling levers of power behind the scenes. Soros poured billions into DA races to install soft-on-crime far-left prosecutors who've helped destroy major cities. Gates used the pandemic to push his global vision, influence public health policy, and bought up massive tracts of U.S. farmland. Fauci flip-flopped his way through COVID, lied under oath, and oversaw the most disastrous public health campaign in American history. And Zuckerberg funneled $400 million into election offices under the guise of COVID safety, tipping the scales in key states. And none of these people were ever held accountable. Not one of them stood for election, but they had more influence over your life than your own governor. Meanwhile, Elon Musk gets painted as a dictator because he let people tweet their opinions again. The hypocrisy doesn't stop there. Congressman Jamal Brown yanked a fire alarm in the Capitol on camera to delay a vote he didn't like. He removed the signs, he pulled it on purpose, and that was obstruction, interference with the democratic process. The same charge they used to lock up J6 protesters. But Bowman? Slap on the wrist, misdemeanor, fine, and back to work the next day. If he had been a Republican, they would have thrown him in the gulag. And then there's Luigi Mangione, the darling of the left. Mangione, a 26-year-old Ivy League grad, hunted and murdered United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in cold blood, left behind a manifesto raging about capitalism, the healthcare system, and justice. This wasn't some mugging gone wrong. This was a political, ideological attack. He believed his act was justified. And what did the left do? They praised him. They also sent him underwear in the mail. They said he was highlighting injustice. They romanticized him, shared his manifesto, raised $700,000 for his legal defense, called him a symbol of resistance, and he gunned a man down in the street and left. And the left acted like he was Che Guevara. Imagine if someone on the right assassinated a Planned Parenthood executive and left behind a manifesto about them unborn. Would they get praised? Would celebrities donate to his bail fund? Would the New York Times run a sympathetic profile? Hell no. They'd demand the death penalty on live TV. But Mangione fit their narrative. So murder turned into activism. This is the same crowd that turned George Floyd into a saint, a man who had held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach during a home invasion, a man with a criminal record a mile long. His death was tragic, yes, but that didn't make him a hero. And yet the left built golden caskets, murals, and shrines. They elevated him while the cops were being ambushed in the streets. They defended arsonists who burned cop cars. They defended trans activists harassing parents at school boards. They defended rioters, tore down statues, and assaulted bystanders. They cheer perverts like Rick Wilson, prop up mentally unstable TikTokers, and silence anyone who objects by calling them a fascist. The Democratic Party today doesn't stand for workers and families or even basic common sense. It stands for criminals, censorship, identity politics, and rage. It stands for late-term abortions, and yes, Ralph Northam said it out loud. The baby would be born, made comfortable, and then a decision would be made. That's infanticide, and Democrats cheered. They stand for men and women's sports, drag shows for kids, biological denial as policy. They stand for DEI, not merit. They stand for chaos, not order. They worship at the altar of government power, provided they're the ones holding the scepter. And what do they actually offer the country? Nothing. No vision, no plan, no accomplishments, just burning hatred for Donald Trump. That's it. And that's the glue holding this mess together. They hate him so much, they'll burn the country down to keep him out of office. They'll lock up his supporters, silence his allies, and smear anyone who dares speak his name. They've built a party around vengeance, around fear, around punishment. But here's the thing. We see it now. All of it. We see that they never cared about domestic terrorism, only about useful enemies. We see that they'll defend literal killers if they align politically, that they'll praise a guy like Mangione while destroying people whose only crime was voting for Trump. We see their silence on Tesla fires and their screaming over peaceful school board protests. We see the ghoulish obsession with abortion, their glorification of crime, and their complete abandonment of the truth. The mask is off. They don't want equality, they want control. And the more they lie, the more people wake up, because you can only slap Nazi on soccer moms and veterans for so long before people stop listening. You can only torch cities and call it peace for so long before people call your bluff. They've shown us who they are, and we will not forget. It's been a while since I've done that, and I like doing that. I miss doing those. Those were fun. Thoughts to wrap up that segment. I wanted to kind of put a bow on it, and the best that I could. Amy, and then Olivia, and then we will move on to the next topic.
Yeah, I think it all boils down to this is not about democracy as they would lead you to believe on the left. It's about control. And if you don't align with their doctrine, if you don't conform and fall in line with what they want you to do, then you become their target, and they will stop at nothing. And obviously they won't. They will commit murder, as Mangione has, to stop what they don't like. And it goes down to freedom of speech. We should be allowed to say what we want to say, defend ourselves, and stand up for our beliefs. And it's honestly becoming very dangerous. And it's not the right. It's almost never the right. It's always these extreme leftist people who want to be a hero by committing a crime.
Yeah.
Get better goals. Get better idols, people.
Yeah. And stop maligning politics with a get out of jail free card to do whatever you want because you feel socially vindicated or ideologically vindicated. Liv, your thoughts on this?
It's do as I say, not as I do. That's pretty much their whole platform right there, and their motto, I would think.
You see any hope for them in 2026? AOC and Bernie Sanders seem to be breaking off from the party. And surprisingly enough, they're pulling in large crowds because I think even Democrats are looking for, can we cut her down?
Yes.
The only answer, I know people want to see her, but just throw her in the back. She's so pushy. No, she's pushy. She's pushy. Even Olivia, like literally from the tail and throws
because
her.
Pretty soon she's going to start trying to get my attention, and when I don't, she claws my face and it hurts.
Look at her. She's like, I don't do. She's like, I don't do that. What the bitch? What you saying? It's interesting that you make the point. But in the absence of leadership, people will follow anything. And I think that's the scariest part, is that somehow this party has been taken over by the fringe. And no party should be taken over by the fringe. I disagreed with 2006, 2014 with the Republicans, the way they were going with the whole that Sharia law was coming to America and Muslims are going to take over. And I'm like, you fucking people are ridiculous. Michelle Bachmann, the fact that when Michelle Bachmann disappeared, I was the happiest person ever. She was a horrible human being. Paul Ryan, Trey Gowdy, Jason Chaffetz, all these guys. There's a reason why they're out. It is because they were neocons and
Crazy.
they're a little off. A lot of people love Trey Gowdy. He's all talk. He's just like Lindsey Graham. They're all talk. They don't do anything. And unfortunately, that's why a few people in the administration, I've been saying, unless they start doing some things and following these campaign promises, they're going to be all talk too. Pam Bondi is feeling the most heat right now. That people are not happy with her, and by they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Get your
I
shit
was so
together.
excited for her, but I feel like she's stumbling quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't think this is her MO. I think she's been handed a bucket of garbage. She's got to figure it out. So
Yeah.
I hope she gets better.
Brenda Lee Van Zyl
Well,
says, 4 names. Usually it's the 3 namers. Good. Sit in a corner and let the big ones do the job. You know nothing.
it's obvious.
That article,
Spoken like a true liberal.
Someone did not just listen to the last 5 minutes. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Thanks, folks. It's been a good it's been a good show. Sarah Lee Coffee Cake was her name, I think.
I just missed it. Literally, I
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm going to ask her to call in, or
Yeah,
I'm sorry if I misgendered you or something, but I'm assuming that might rub you the wrong way. Brenda Lee
Van Zyl.
I think you should call in. I
Speaks
would like
for
to
the
know
lie.
what we know nothing of.
Yeah. Tell me, if we know nothing, it should be fairly easy to tell us something, right? I mean, because that's
learn us
any man that claims to know everything is also wrong. But a person who claims that a person knows nothing is also equally wrong. So I would love to find out what you're talking about. And you know what? She might say, listen, I'm not talking to you. I was talking about.
Don't assume the gender.
I'm not. Brenda Lee Van Zyl.
Well, Brenda's a female name, but Lee, L-E-E, is a male name. So.
And van is a type of vehicle.
So I have no idea.
And Zyl is
aren't you supposed to be driving an EV?
Seventh ring lower denizen of hell. So Brenda Lee Van Zyl is basically a female Brandon Lee who drives a van towards the lower 7th ring of hell. This all makes sense. This is the way Q figures shit out. I think if you take Brenda Lee, Van, and Zyl and add up all the letters, it equals 17.
Yes.
Ooh, yes, it probably does. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's look at. Let me see. Jason just sent something from Wimkin. Yep. If your Comcast were being blocked.
Oh.
No, but it looks like Comcast Xfinity is now blocking Wimkin.
Oh, really?
So we might have to find
company I can get here.
So we might need to find another internet provider stat, or we're not gonna be able to broadcast to Wimkin.
Yep.
That is such a horrible. Okay, we'll something to think
We're
about.
gonna have to talk. Yep.
Oh, Brenda says I'm talking about AOC. See, I told you guys. You jumped to. I was protecting
Sorry,
Brenda, and you guys jumped her shit.
We did.
Brenda, it was Amy and Olivia. I defended you. I said, wait, guys, she might be talking to someone else. Brenda, I love you. Don't ban Brenda. Leave her alone.
No, Brenda's great. Sorry,
God.
Brenda.
It's
apologies.
Awooga, awooga. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. Get her back.
Yeah. No, we are sorry. We're just mean. Sorry.
Brenda, it wasn't me. I defended you. I just said your name was like Brandon Lee, a van, and Zyl is a demon from the lower denizen. I didn't say you were that person. Brenda, we owe her a shirt. Someone give her a damn shirt. Seriously, give her a shirt.
Sorry, Brenda. Give her a Amy shirt, but with Brenda on it.
No, I don't think she wants an Amy shirt after the shit you just did to Brenda.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm sorry, Brenda.
Brenda, we'll give you a Matt. We'll give you a Matt shirt.
Yeah.
Or email me and tell me what shirt you want.
Yeah.
Leave Brenda alone. This is like leave Brittany alone time. Brenda, we were just teasing. We're not. See, sometimes we get trolls on here, and it's hard to tell during chat. You did nothing wrong. Please let us know it's okay. Please let us know it's okay. God, I feel horrible. I have the hammer. I didn't do it. Nobody ban Brenda. Leave her alone. All right, Twitter. We need some help, please. She's probably gonna, probably file a complaint with HR.
I welcome that. But I am sorry, Brenda.
You guys were mean. You even called her a guy. I've grown. You see how vile you've become? Oof.
I have no patience right now. It's my hormones, and I have I literally
She's
give
cool.
0 Fs anymore.
Haha, you guys, I am a woman. Lee is my second name. Van Zyl is my surname. Is Ditch. Dutch. She said Ditch, but it's Dutch. We love you, and you're getting a free shirt. I don't give a shit.
Email me, olivia@thedumbshow.com.
olivia@thedumbshow.com. Go pick out a shirt. We're going to give you a free shirt. Now, don't pick the one with a still point demon on it, or I am going to give you a ration of shit.
The still point demon.
So we're going to have to figure out if Comcast is blocking. I can't believe that. They just won't leave them alone.
You know what? It's weird because I did try to log in randomly a few.
Can you get on real quick?
I'm looking.
Just go to wimkid.com. That's bullshit. Why would they do that? Like, why?
I don't understand.
I got to call Jason. We got to figure this out. Because this is, if I got to go with Fios, we'll go with Fios. I don't want to go with Fios.
Hang on. Nope, it loaded.
Are you up now?
I'm up on my desktop.
I'm up.
Yep, I'm up. Okay.
Okay, we can stream. Because I have a business account. So the way you guys are treated and the way I'm treated are two different things. So they probably did not block. I pay too much all you do is make one phone call. Be like, listen, do you know how much money I paid you? I pay them almost $2,000 a month for internet. It's a shit ton of money to run this show. All right, let's move on right after this. Folks, you notice I haven't said anything about donations. $23.75 is where we're at for the night.
Whoops.
Dick pics coming.
That's my feet pics.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donation.
What do you mean a shirt you were supposed to get, Elizabeth Hall, a year ago and you didn't get? And why are you just bringing it up now? Because I can tell you every shirt I've promised to give someone, I've sent.
Except for Reels, and we're working on that one, sorry.
Who?
Real Americano, she's the LOL.
That wasn't me. That's you. That's your thing.
I know, and I gotta get it to
you were supposed to deal with Rumble and then tell me, and then I order the shirts. That's not on me.
No.
But Elizabeth, you can ask anybody when I say I'm going to do, I go ask Bobby. Anyone who, so if I owe you a shirt, just tell me. And if you didn't get it, we'll go live and I'll go into Shopify and show I sent it to you. So if you don't have the shirt, please grab the shirt. Tell me what you want. I'll send it to you tomorrow. It's that easy. But, I've heard somewhere, I think it was in the Constitution, that if you don't let it go. Why would you honor an Elsa this? You're a fan of the show. You've been watching the show for a long time. Why? So you can go ahead and throw it and bring it up tonight? Is that what you mean by letting it go? Like just randomly bring it up for no reason? Elizabeth, you deserve your shirt. So let me guess. A petite, what would you like? Let me know. Liv,
email me.
Would you please reach out to Miss Elizabeth Hall and make sure she gets a shirt so I don't have to listen to this shit?
Elizabeth, either message me or email me.
Okay. I usually come through with what I say. And if I don't, it's because issues happen. Things happen. I could have the address wrong, whatever. But remember, I send things from a third-party vendor. I don't have a printing press at my house. I don't print all these shirts. I have a third-party vendor that does it.
And I'm also kind of like the secretary over here. He gets so much stuff every day that send it to me at olivia@thedumbshow.com.
James Clemens.
And I'll get it over.
Good to see you, buddy. By the way, Amy Bordeaux, do I get a discount on Amy Friend's shirt?
Yes.
No!
Yes, she does.
No!
Wait, 10% everything anyway?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the code is, but I think we get 10% off on everything.
Mods get 20% off on everything if they want to use it. Whatever you want. Amy, whatever I can do for you. Just anything else free I can do for you guys? You know what? Just don't even donate. We'll just pay for this. We're good. No, we don't need to make money for God's sakes. We can just have people like Brandon or Brenda Lee yell at us and Amy attack her for no reason, and Olivia question her. Be quiet, Amy. You're in trouble. And Olivia questioning her masculinity.
We're in timeout, Amy.
Sorry. I do feel bad. I'm really sorry.
You
I
should.
usually have the level-headed one who's like, let's see where it's coming from. But I just, I really think it's my hormones. I found a place in Percival that we need to go through.
Usually I'm the one who catches it and goes, wait a second, that's in the chat. Oh, by the way, Kevin just donated $10.80. For some reason, didn't splash up. It's showing up on the bar, but it did not splash.
It's how much?
$10.80.
Kevin, thank you for the $10.80.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate
Elizabeth, I need to know what shirt you want. What did she say? Did she say, I want 3 shirts? You didn't get, no, 3X. You're not a 3X. That's why. Oh, I remember this, Elizabeth. I didn't have 3X size shirts. And all I had was 2X. And that's what happened. Oh, how the story changes. Oh, I have 3X shirts now. Which one you want?
You sound like Jimmy, our waiter from Texas Roadhouse.
You let me know, me wanky. I've got 3Xs now, Elizabeth, and I'll send you one. That's what happened, is that we only had 2X in, I thought, and you wanted a 3. And then I don't know if I heard back from you. You know what? I'm going to start going through the email. We're going to find out, because I'm good at that. I don't break my word to people. And if I do, it's because I didn't know about it.
Oh, thank you.
So I can get you a 3X now. You let me know and I'll get you a shirt. Jeffrey Oliphant says, no, dummies. Thank you. Oh, no, thank you.
No, thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
So I just want to make sure all the free shit I'm giving money away on the show tonight. Elizabeth Hall gets a free shirt. Brenda gets a free shirt. Is there anybody else that I promised a free shirt to? Just want to make sure.
I'll make one. I'm kidding.
Amy says, I'll send a list of demands. Melanie says, who lit his tampon string? What the fuck? I didn't do it. It's them. It's the women.
I love it that even though you've done nothing wrong and it is totally us tonight, like you're getting all this shit.
I always get the shit. It doesn't matter what I do. I was really nice. I haven't done anything wrong tonight, and I'm getting my tampon string.
Yeah. Well,
I use pads. Mel, did you send my shirt from the X comment? Son of a...
How about this? If we owe you a shirt, can you just send Liv an email tonight? Please.
Watch, I'm going to get like 50 emails.
No. I will take... Okay. Can we move on? I got sucked into this. Yes. How is it that I always... Like, I'm the guy that walks up with the asshole on his head. No matter what I do, it's always my fault. I should learn. Folks.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. We appreciate it. In fact,
Brenda says, since you insist, I'm size large, but don't stress.
No, we got it. You deserve it. No, seriously, Brenda, for the way Amy treated you, nice job, Amy.
Brenda, email me. Yeah. Brenda, email me, olivia@thedumbshow.com with what shirt you want that's already in the store. Get out of my paycheck. And I need your address.
Amy's lagging as shit. What is going on?
I am?
You are. Yeah, you basically look like this.
Mm. Should I call back? I mean, I'm on where I'm looking. It looks okay, but I'll call back.
Call me maybe. All right. Brenda, send it to Olivia. Elizabeth Hall, send it to Olivia. 3X. We got your shirt taken care of. I promise you. Easy peasy.
Amy Bordeaux, what's your email?
Amy Bordeaux, you stop trying to... Amy Bordeaux, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Amy Bordeaux's trying to, she wants free stuff.
I told you, everyone's like, I want a shirt now.
Listen,
all of you.
I didn't do this for charity. No, I'm kidding. Okay, here we go. Let's rock and roll. We got a show to do. Joy Reid.
My favorite person in the whole world.
Joy Reid and Don Lemon are turning into the same person.
Ooh.
I thought they were the same person.
No, you're low. Speak.
No. Testing.
Speak.
What happened? I didn't touch anything.
You should have said, next time he says speak, go woof, woof.
Woof. Speak. Here you go. Speak.
Woof. Would you like a treat?
Woof. Okay. Am I good? No.
Oh my
Matt
God.
Spin Zone should be a new segment. What? It's just...
Joseph Hillstrom, just send me Leroy's G-string.
Oh, that's easy. That's in my pocket. All right, here we go. Don Lemon, Joy Reid, same person. They are. I didn't realize this, but if you've seen the transformation of Joy Reid over the last 2 years, she's been slowly turning into a man. Oh, I got that.
She's slow.
Wrong one.
She's slowly turning into a man.
So here she is. She's turning into Don Lemon. They are going to be the same person soon. I'm not kidding. Watch this. Ready? Dick pic.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Same
Look
person.
at that. Now listen to this.
Don's
Sounds
prettier.
I was going to say, he looks more feminine than she does.
That's my point. They are drinking each other's blood and turning into the other. It's like Freaky Friday, but like I don't know. Oh, Freaky Friday. Remember the movie Friday? Damn! I mean, it's kind of a nice twist that I just did. All right, here we go. Listen.
Grampy Trump, let's talk. Let's talk. First of all, you can't make Canada the 51st state without going to war with them. And let me explain how that happened, how that worked out the last time we tried to go to war with Canada.
We didn't go to war with
They
Canada.
burned the White House.
Nope. We did not go to war with Canada.
War with
Nope. Nope. It was England.
I was like, England burned the White House.
It
to
was
the ground.
England. Just
What an
because you
idiot.
have a detached regiment from Canada does not mean it was not English rule. Please follow your history. You're so stupid. This is like the people who thought, oh, yeah, well, all the founding fathers were black. This is all 1619 Project bullshit for Canada. I am so sick of this. I'll explain it in a second.
What was this? Let's talk. Let's talk.
I don't know.
To
But
the ground
let's listen. And why is she yelling? You've got a sure mic, lady.
That's her
in
sign thing.
1814 and won the war. Canada beat us in the War of 1812. They probably like their chances against us. We're not going to beat them in a war because we have never been able to do that. You'd have to occupy a country that is equivalent of the size of the United States, in which the top.
Listen, I know you're from Africa and you may not know American history and shit, but Canada wasn't a fucking established country in 1812, you twat. I don't know if you knew that or not, but there's a reason why you were fucking fired and canned. This is literally the failure show. This show should be called Unemployment on Wick. Both of you don't have jobs, okay? You're failures at everything you do.
2/3 of it is uninhabited, frozen forest land that touches the Arctic. You know how that worked out when the Nazis tried that with Russia, which is the equivalent of Canada on that part of the world?
What?
We gonna lose.
So Canada's now a
we
Russia?
don't have enough troops to occupy.
1812, Upper Canada, folks, is present-day Ontario. Hold on, it's a British colony.
Right.
Lower Canada is now Quebec.
Yep.
Both which were British North America. I'm not even a Canuck, and I know the history better than these two people. And are they comparing Russia, Germany, Canada, and the United States?
Yes. They're comparing Russia to Canada. 100%. That's what she said.
So let me make sure I understand this, even though Justin Trudeau's a little mini dictator. When did Canada starve 50 million people?
Right.
Someone tell me this. Was this in order to go ahead and maybe an attempt to weed out the people who weren't good at hockey anymore so they may have a chance to win a cup? When did Canada kill 50 million people?
In their frozen
when was the Montreal Revolution that realigned the entire country from Quebecistan and Torontostan and Halifaxistan?
Yeah.
Please tell me when that happened.
You forgot Vancouver.
What about Vancouver-Slavia? When did Vancouver-Slavia? When was Vancouver-Slavia founded? Could you tell me that? No? Okay. The Canadian Tsars? What about those people? Are we going to call it the Kremlin in Can? Okay.
We are a country of 39 million people who have about as many guns per capita as we do.
Can we zoom in on her background?
Oh my God. Can we not?
What
do you want to see?
I want to, well, one, I can't read her sign. It says joy is an act of something, which I can't read, but that photo in the bottom left corner, what is that photo of? Like, it's really
It looks
bothering.
like shit.
It looks like the shit emoji.
But
looks
the
like a pile of
picture
shit.
next to that, who is that? Like, it's either
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know.
Hitler or it's what's his face from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when he has like the
Yeah.
little pigtails.
I
and
don't
can't
I
tell
don't
which
know.
one it is.
That's definitely poop.
Yeah,
It
definitely
looks
poop.
like the shit emoji.
And it looks like a Picasso.
She decided to frame a selfie.
Yeah,
for her.
It's like Picasso, Jim Carrey.
Just yes.
And then this is joy is an act of, it probably has to be romance or
Vengeance. I feel
joy
like
is a
That's
vengeance. That's perfect. That's perfect. I don't care, but
Sorry.
I just want to show you something. Just tell me, minus the hair, tell me that this is not literally.
yeah.
I mean, it's right there. I mean,
Yeah.
tell me that wasn't Don Lemon in 2016.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, it's so weird.
Here, let's go look. Don Lemon 2014. Oh, not 2022, 14. Bless you, baby.
Hey.
Bless you.
Thank you.
2014, Don Lemon. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Minus the blonde hair.
Dude, he's been bleaching his skin, hasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
They all
Yes.
Michael Jackson it. They all go fucking crazy and start
It's vitiligo. It's a problem.
vitiligo. What? It sounds racist. It sounds like
No,
a German
that's a real-
thing.
You've got splotches on your skin with that, though, don't you?
Yeah, you
It's
do.
not
I
like-
actually know some people with it, and it's an autoimmune disorder. It's actually pretty terrible. So, I don't know.
So you're saying that they have autoimmune disorders?
That's what Michael Jackson claimed, that he had vitiligo, and that's why he turned white. That was his claim back then.
He.
Yeah.
I wonder if he bleached everything.
Yeah, you can bleach your skin. I mean,
Oh, I
people do
know.
it all the time.
I know what you're talking about.
I bleach my cat's
Yes.
eye for Olivia all the time.
Oh my god.
Gross. Gross. I don't need to know that. Oh Lord, help us all.
No wonder why we only have $55 tonight. Go figure. Folks, next topic coming right up.
The Dumb Store is veteran
Sorry.
owned with a 5-star diamond rating.
Oh, please, after you.
I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't know you were going to play a commercial.
Tamar Bush, $10 donation. One of my favorite names on the show. Tamar, thank you.
Thanks, Tamar.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. It's a good name. Strong name. Tamar Bush.
The Dumb Store is veteran owned with a 5-star diamond rating.
And we would fucking floor Canada. You're under, like, come on. Come on. Do you really think? Come on. Be honest.
Don't we supply a lot of their military?
Yeah.
I would just need to make sure before I started talking crap. I
Listen,
don't want
there's
Paul to come after me.
there's nothing wrong with Canada. I respect and appreciate them. They couldn't take Buffalo, okay? So just, you guys have to understand. There's a reason why most of our nuclear triad is in the South and the North. And it's just in case Mexico and Canada got froggy, okay? You guys, we would light you up like a pinball machine in about 45 seconds. 45 seconds, we would rain fire and hell on you before you even knew what happened. Let's calm down. So before you start gearing up for, Quebecistan, yeah. Toronto land. Vancouver Annie. You guys get worked.
The Dumb Store is veteran owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer.
And when it comes to the Bible, none of us are going to be here anyway. So Western civilization is going to be off the map because we're not even mentioned. So, we're toast. So everyone's like, no, it's not what it says. Well, it doesn't not say it either. So you think it'd be pretty specific, right? Amy, you're our resident theologian. Are we in the end of times?
I don't
United
think
States? Yeah, I don't either.
The United. I don't think so. I really. But it doesn't specifically talk about regions, but it does talk about people. So
Right. Right.
I don't
And
think.
I'm pretty confident that the Canadians and Americans are going to kill each other. So
I just hope that there is a rapture and that I'm included in it and I get to just get
sing a
taken
song.
up. Yeah.
Am I excited about the F-47? I'm about as excited as the F-22 until it flies. Why do we need it? Because we have the F-35. There's nothing that can touch the 35. And a sixth generation, it's not a sixth generation. This whole bullshit. If you would like me to break down what a sixth generation fighter is, I can go ahead and break it down for you. But just simply the speeds and the aerodynamics and the weapon capacity, it's not going to reach that. So this is a theoretical fighter. This is just in response to measure dicks with China, who thinks that they have a fifth generation, which is really just a third generation with some fourth generation technology slapped onto the side. The F-35 is the most superior fighter in the world. Nothing can touch it. And we don't need anything until then. People are like, drones. Launch 500 drones at an F-35 and let me know what happens. Get within 500 miles of that thing and let me know. Okay? Can I play the damn commercial? Thanks.
Yes.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
Go over there and find some coffee or whatever else you would like. We have some great shirts and stuff like that. I just want to make sure everyone understands. Joy Reid's and pardon my language, I don't mean to hurt anybody. I don't want to be, she's a fucking moron. There are 100 people for every 120 guns in the United States. There are 35 guns in Canada for 100 people. And that number is dropping 7 per year because of Justin Trudeau's gun grab. So next year, by this time, with all the things that are in place, it'll be 28 guns per Canadian. My kid has more guns than that. So she's full of shit. Okay? What are you guys going to do? Throw maple syrup at us and cook us some pancakes?
Yeah.
But no, I'm not excited about the F-47 because for the same reason with the F-22. Matt, don't open the wormhole. You know where religion takes us. Oh, no shit. Good call. Matt, Am I to assume you've seen that link way before it got banned? I bet you did. Yes. I tried to tell you. There's pretty much nothing that I haven't seen about the John F. Kennedy assassination. And most people can't make that claim because they haven't spent 4 decades studying it. I have been studying the John F. Kennedy assassination since I was 6 years old. And that's what happens when you have an uncle who literally lived, ate, and breathed. How do you do past tense and then go? Don't you? It's like moose and Mises. It's just, it doesn't work. But he lived most of his life studying with his mooses. Very good. Whatever. So in fact, I answered a question to Frank Riley today, and Frank Riley will tell you, he asked me some stuff on the JFK assassination, and I wrote it in about, I don't know, a minute and a half, and I didn't reference one thing. He asked me about David Ferry and where his location was on November 22nd, and was he in Dallas, or where was he? And I broke it down and told him my thoughts, and it's because I live, eat, and breathe the John F. Kennedy assassination in my head, even though I've stopped studying it. I don't study it anymore because there's nothing that I need to study anymore. It's like,
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Because I didn't watch the show, and I don't even necessarily care that much about the JFK stuff. I probably should care more, but it doesn't matter. Is there anything that came out that we didn't know already? I haven't watched anything on it because I really just have a hard time caring. Sorry.
Wow. What an incentive for me to track something down for you. It's such an endorsement. I really don't give a shit, but could you look it up anyway? Because I don't really care.
I just didn't know something new that came out. So I just didn't know.
You're in a mood. I get it. It's fine. You're allowed to
be. We should know who killed him. I just didn't know if there was real information that came out with this documents. I don't know. With these documents.
Read along. JFK Files, a shot in the dark.
Oh, I can read it on my own time. Sorry.
No, I'm just letting you know it's right here. Yes, okay. I've got it all for you. It's right here. I did a full breakdown on the files, and I cross-indexed all of it with a database that I have. So I was able to really narrow it down to about 2,400 documents and 4,600 that were adding slightly different information. So all I did was parse those and pull the information that wasn't in the original 46, which basically turned those into about 100 pages. And then I read the 2,300 pages in about 7 hours. And I surmised everything. And it's right there in an article for you if you'd like to read it.
I'll read it sometime this weekend.
Yeah, it was the Jews. Just kidding. Deborah McLaughlin donated $21.10. Keep up the good work, guys. Look forward to watching every night. If anyone is offended or thinks that Olivia or Amy or myself are arguing or we're mad at the viewers tonight, this is just fun. We do this all the time. We're kidding. And nobody messed anything up. I'm not mad at Elizabeth. I'm not mad at Brenda, even though she's from the lower ring of hell. And I'm that's what Amy said. Well, you should have seen during the intermission. She's like, Brenda is the devil. Brenda is the devil. Brenda is the devil. So we are
new
just
t-shirt idea.
It's been a good time. Knock it off. We're having fun. Moving on to the next.
Did you, when I touched you when I walked by, did you just get the chills or what?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
it's you know.
Did you shake me off or what?
Oh no. No.
I was like,
that's why Mel can't live in the guest room.
Yeah, I kind of was just like, hello, darling. Hello, Buffy.
Shiver.
Hello, Buffy. Absolutely. All right, we got to get going. Not that we have any rush, because we're gonna have to do some work. We're not even a third to goal. Oh God. Rick Wilson, Backpedals. Olivia.
Yes.
Darling.
Yes.
Would it lower your standing with me if I asked you to go to the printer and grab me the thing I printed out by chance?
No.
And if I could
please. We need to train the dog to do this.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I will.
By the way, how is my dog?
Your dog is fine.
I just took her potty. That's why I was gone.
Thank you, Liv. Thank you. Yeah, I need this for the next thing. Lincoln Project. I went after this guy hard because he had some things to say that I disagreed with immensely. Rick Wilson put out an article.
Dealership.
And essentially he says that now this is MAGA fake fraud because of his article. And he basically said that MAGA was getting their tampons in a bunch, because they read his title. Now, I don't know if everyone knows the title. Here it is. Kill Tesla, Save the Country. Oh, yeah, that's an overreaction by MAGA. Here's his video where he wants to attack, and I'm going to break down his article for you because it's important. Here is Mr. Rick allegedly touches children, Wilson. And here is his retort.
The article is very, very specific about what I'm proposing. It has nothing to do with violence, nothing to do with terrorism.
Yeah, that'd be nice if it wasn't hidden behind your Substack in a paywall, you fat fucking lollipop-looking son of a dick thumb. You put it behind a paywall. So I paid for it. And then right after I paid for it, you prick, you made it free. Good job. And we're at $86.75. I think I'm $1.25 today after paying for his Substack. Here's the rest.
Everything about it.
I agree with you, Rick.
Listen, say what you will about the photograph, but the photograph is an emblematic sort of thing to talk about the Trump-Musk relationship as well.
It's not emblematic. A guy blew it up in front of Trump Tower in Vegas, killing himself and injuring people with a V-bid. That was a terrorist attack, whether you like it or not. So when you put a picture that says kill Tesla and save the country, you magnanimous douche fuckery, this is the message you're sending. And I'm going to blow your article apart too.
It's got a symbolic value. I didn't choose a photograph of a Tesla charging station being set on fire or a dealership being defaced or anything like that. None of this moral panic, like I say, on the right has anything to do with the reality of what the article says. And I know that it's really tempting in this country to say, oh, the superficial tweet or the headline or whatever, that's the entire content, but the content is the content.
Amy, pitch or catch? Which one is he? Pitch or catch? Does he catch or does he
He's
pitch?
a catcher. And is
He's
that
a
a green
catcher.
screen? Because his head is like blending in. It's bothering me so much.
No, it's just his pasty white body that hasn't seen a woman's touch or sunlight. Liv, pitch or catch?
Catch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a cuck, actually. I don't think he pitches or catch. I think he watches his wife fellatio another man and finishes for her. That's what I think he does. I think he's a cuck.
Content. And my argument is that Elon Musk is vulnerable to political and social and market pressure.
You know what we call goatees in prison? Call them jail pussy. That's what we call those things. Just a little bit of knowledge.
Social and market pressures on his car company, and Elon Musk is vulnerable to a wide range of pressures in the market right now. That stock is down 50%. It had nothing to do.
Dude, you spelled I was wrong. Seriously. That's all you got to say. You know what? It was clickbait. It was stupid. I want to say I apologize for it. I'm not taking it down. But I don't want anyone to commit violence. Instead, you're such a fucking scumbag. You are a detestable pimple on the ass of the most vile, degenerate-based human being on this fucking mortal coil. I can say with every ounce of my soul, I hate him. I hate him. And I want him to experience and feel the most pain possible for the rest of his existence. I hope he gets genital warts on his herpes. That is what I want from him. I hope his crabs gets gonorrhea.
For him, not from him.
Yes, I don't want it from him. I want it for him. You're right. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to be really clear.
With my article, that has nothing to do with people being pissed off at
Tesla is up year over year, by the way, folks. Just want to let you know. Buy long.
At me. It has a lot to do with Elon's failing product. I look at the content of the message. The message is the message. The content is the content. The idea that the headline defines the entire piece is a classic sort of logical fallacy. This is about a plan.
Right. But you go ahead and then take Donald Trump's presidency, which is 470 pages and of an agenda 47, which goes into triplicate and redundancies of his entire platform, yet you take Project 2025, the title, and slap it on, and you're going to sit here and say that titles don't matter. That titles don't define an entire presidency, an entire political agenda, 18 months of running for office. Right.
Program to bring pressure on Elon Musk to stop some of the things that he's doing, to reduce his ability to intimidate people politically in this country, to reduce his ability to deploy his massive amount of Tesla-driven money against political candidates. And look, you guys, we're going to disagree on whether you liked the headline or not.
Rick, before we go, your reaction to Elon or someone at X banning you from the platform. I know you've been suspended. How long is it for? And your reaction to that, especially because he's all about free speech.
It looks like 30 days. It is what it is. If not, I'm on Blue Sky, right?
Yeah, shut up. I'm not going to promote your Blue Sky shit. You guys, I'm sorry about this, but I've got to dismantle this douche plow. Does anyone want to say anything before I take him down?
When I was looking at him, I was thinking about Mordor from Lord of the Rings and how he looks like a dwarf.
He does.
He
looks like an albino dwarf.
He totally could just put on a robe and go into Mordor, and he would totally fit in. He is a dwarf.
Sounds good to me.
I'll chime in really quickly.
Yeah, get it.
I did not read the article, but thank you for doing that for us. But his title, along with the imagery that he has chosen, is an obvious statement. And I think that him getting like a warning of like, you can't post here for 30 days is pretty nice. And I think that is because Elon is about free speech. This is it's pretty terrible. I will say Tesla stock, it's a good time to buy because it is down, and it's going to skyrocket again.
Of course it is.
So it's a good time to purchase that if you guys are into stocks and trading and all that stuff. And I'm not, but
I'm not either.
I've heard from all the people that I run in that circle somehow. So everyone's
Yeah,
like, buy it.
86.75 might buy me Mervyn stock if they. Oh wait, they went bankrupt. Oh, forget it. Ashley helped out. That's much better. Thank you, Ashley. Perfect timing. Ashley Gleason, thank you for your $50.
Thank you.
So let's break this down. Interrupt anytime you want. So I read his Substack, and just so you're aware, his update. So you know I'm not lying to you. Update: I've removed the paywall for this article because MAGA dipshits have consistently lied to press and themselves about its contents. Fair? Except I paid for it. No.
I would
okay.
submit for a refund.
No, it's fine. Honestly, it's going to be a corporate expense. And I'm going to write it off to donating to the retarded school bus. Kill Tesla, save the country. The threat wrapped in snark. This isn't edgy. It's reckless. He masked what amounts to an incitement of economic sabotage under satire, but it reads like a deranged war plan to financially cripple a single company and by extension, silence one man's influence. That's not protest, that's cancel culture mixed with economic terrorism. He then goes on to say, Tesla is no longer just a car company. Right here. My response is, calling Tesla a bank for fascists is laughable projection. Elon Musk employs over 120,000 employees, and people worldwide conflating capital, investment, and innovation with fascism, exactly the kind of hysterical hyperbole that degrades any serious political discourse. Wilson isn't criticizing policy. He's trying to justify a political vendetta. He then goes on to say, Musk's power and wealth are inseparable from Tesla's absurdity-inflated stock price. Yes, Elon Musk's influence comes from success. Oh my God, who figured? Most billionaires, that's how they make their money. You know who else operated on that formula? Steve Jobs, Bezos, Gates. But Wilson wants to break success as a political weapon. This is Marxism with a Twitter handle, tear down the successful to score ideological points. He then says Musk leveraged Tesla to snap up Twitter. That's called capitalism, douche plow. Buying a platform isn't a crime. Wilson hates that Musk bought the sandbox the left used to control, so now he wants to burn the sandbox down. This isn't about fairness, it's vengeance for losing narrative control. And to have carte blanche to say whatever he wanted on his platform, including lying about tiki torch people at Youngkin's gubernatorial event, if you remember that, Amy.
Mm-hmm. I certainly do.
He also makes our great video, Mommy, who won? Trump did, honey. I thought he couldn't win again for a third time. Not anymore, honey. Not anymore. Ketamine-juiced Gordon Gecko is what he called Trump or Elon Musk. Shitlord memes and volcano lair.
Wait, isn't that is that of him calling him a ketamine-juiced Gordon Gecko? Is that slander?
No, because he'll say it's comedy. Like nobody would take it seriously, right?
Well,
right. But nobody. I mean, look at him. Look at him. This is the thing about Rick Wilson. He's the type of guy that you go like that, and he fucking shits his pants.
Yes.
And then you just look at him and go, dude, you make me look so tough. You pull a Facebook. If you haven't seen that movie. Wilson drowns in childish insults and cartoonish characters. He isn't building an argument. He's roasting a man who outmaneuvered his allies. This kind of personal attack undercuts any claim to be fighting for democracy or truth. It is simply slander. None of his companies have actual corporate governance, is what he says. And that's flat out fucking false. Tesla and SpaceX are held accountable by market regulators, shareholder suits, and investor relations. Wilson's claim is nothing more than flailing exaggerations and lies, as always. He says none of his companies have actual corporate governance. Yes, we know that. And then he says Tesla has been the cash cow buoyed by oceans of government subsidy. Name one EV company that hasn't. benefited from green energy and government subsidies. I dare if any of you could name one. I can't. Including all the ones Wilson encourages people to buy from instead. Doesn't matter whether you talk about the Prius or the Dodge Dart, all of those inherent government subsidies. He's attacking Musk for playing by the same rules everyone else does, but succeeding at it. He then says Elon can carpet bomb you with $200 million. So can George Soros, Michael Bloomberg, and others on the left who've done so. Why is political spending only dangerous when it's coming from someone Rick Wilson doesn't like? It's hypocrisy alert. And they certainly don't mind the $37 million annually that you get from fat Democrat sponsors. Because you don't seem to care when people give you the money. He says, break Tesla's stock, and you start to break Elon's ability. He's admitting he wants to intentionally devalue a publicly traded company to destroy someone's political voice. That's not peaceful protest. That's manipulation of the market, and it echoes totalitarian tactics. Destroy the man by destroying his means. Marxists would be so proud. He says, I've forced major firms to tuck tail and change their ways, including his own, that had allegations of sexual impropriety with minors. I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about that. Oh, and fraud charges and embezzlement. And all of his staff who were on the executive board have resigned. And he lost his contract with the Daily Caller and is no longer an editor as they fired his fat, pimply white ass. The self-aggrandizing lines within his article reveal it all. Wilson sees himself as a mob boss threatening companies into compliance with ideological purity. Nice company you've got there. Be a shame if something happened to it. He sounds like the Michael Avenatti, except he would never be hanging out with a chick with big tits like Stormy Daniels because he's a fag. Tesla's stock is perched on a cliff, he lets us know, and you're bragging about pushing it over. Wilson openly urges financial harm to investors, employees, and pension funds. Who gets hurt? Regular people, not Musk. Supposedly the people that Wilson swears to protect. We're almost done, ladies. Thank you for being patient. He reposted a claim that Stalin, Mao, and Hitler didn't murder millions of people. No, he didn't. That's a lie. Musk shared a post critiquing state power. Wilson omits context because smearing Elon with Nazi adjacency is easier than arguing facts. It's slander by insinuation, textbook gaslighting. He said he reposted a claim. He calls him a douche panzer, which is only partially German, and a small dick energy fantasies. Go figure, a liberal talking about someone else's genitalia. Shocker. Real classy political writing here. This isn't argument. It's juvenile name calling like I've been doing to you, because what's good for the fat white bulby goose is good for the gander. It undermines Wilson's credibility and shows he's targeting Musk's customers, not Musk. That's dangerous. That's incitement, yet again. He calls him Tesla, the welfare queen. Welfare queen extraordinaire. He wants to revoke subsidies, but only for companies he dislikes. Rivian, Polestar, Ford, they all take public money. Wilson's solution, punish success when it doesn't serve his political goals. He says, no one's asking me to design a war plan here. Actually, Rick, there is a war plan, if you haven't noticed. You literally outline tactics to crash a stock, destroy shareholder confidence, drive away customers, and trigger lawsuits. All along, having VBID devices blowing up in front of Trump Towers is probably a good start to wrecking a person's entire portfolio.
Domestic terrorist. That's what it sounds like.
It's fucking ridiculous. If a conservative wrote this about any left-leaning brand, the media would call it stochastic terrorism instead. Amy, very good. Very similar. Think about peaceful protests as Tesla showrooms, he says. Tell that to Antifa. You plant the seed and walk away while your readers do the dirty work. It's a cowardly tactic wrapped in plausible deniability. Just like with you touching prepubescent boys. Buy an EV, not just a Tesla. So now it's not about emissions or saving the planet. It's about punishing one man. That exposes the entire environmental grift for what it is, a tool of compliance and obedience, not sustainability. Break Tesla, break Elon, break Trump, he shouts. There it is, the real goal. Not democracy, not fairness, just partisan destruction. My final thoughts on this piece of shit article, which reads like a bad penthouse article without the women and the big boobs and the teacher. But all the fluff is still there. Rick Wilson's article is an instruction manual for weaponizing markets, mob behavior, and political power to crush ideological opponents. It's not just reckless, it's dangerous. He promotes economic sabotage, spreads lies, uses slurs, incites division, and frames it as righteous. This isn't journalism. It's activism soaked in contempt and dressed up in snark. And it should be called out for exactly what it is, a public tantrum by an angry, petulant man that the other team is winning and that he also smells like a dirty diaper. Just like his writing style. That is my judgment, judge, jury, and trial on Mr. Rick Wilson. I open it up to comments. Amy, you made some points that you probably would want to expand on. Go ahead, I'll listen.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't read this article. I'm like, this is, it does sound like he is trying to incite insider trading of some sort. He's trying to basically tank the United States stock market because Tesla does hold a significant portion of that market. This seems counterintuitive. I understand if you don't like Trump, that's fine. If you don't like Elon Musk, that's also fine. But to try to hurt every single person in America because
she just wanted to.
Okay.
Because you have your panties in a bunch, because Elon Musk has more money than you and you're not friends with him, and he switched his party affiliation because of whiny losers like you. Like I don't know. I'm just at a loss at this point. And he does sound like a domestic terrorist or whatever you said, stochastic
terrorism.
What I said.
Yes. It's okay. You're doing fine. Keep going. It was close. You got it. I'm listening.
It's like
stochastic, not staccato tile. It's stochastic.
Stucco and staccato is like a music reference, I think, right?
Staccato is a music
reference. Yes. And terracotta tile is what I was trying to be funny.
I don't know.
Yes, because just go ahead.
It doesn't matter. No, that's really all I have to say. I think this gentleman spoke volumes just by his button up with his pullover half zip sweater vest thing. So that's all we needed to see. Honestly, like that's all we needed to see.
Right.
Sorry,
like
shit.
He's the type of guy that tucks in his t-shirt for sure and turns the lights off during sex.
With socks on. With socks on.
Totally. Yes. Stochastic meaning, for those of you who don't have a thesaurus around, it's basically leaving something to probability or chance. So when we say stochastic terrorism, he's putting it out there with marching orders, but leaving it to chance with whatever happens and whatever cards are played based upon what he says. It's like going ahead and writing the anarchist cookbook in another pen and naming it something else and leaving it to people and saying, do with this as you will, right? Because anything that's done with that book is going to be from nefarious means. Liv, you've had a chance to spend time. Oh, Judy Gurley, $21. Last time until next month, Liv, you guys wish I could do more. Judy, it's just enough.
Judy.
Thank you
Perfect.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Liv, your thoughts on this guy? You've had a chance to watch him with me for a long time. We've watched a lot of his commercials. We watched him destroy Sam Elliott and turn Sam Elliott gay.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't know who he was until I saw co-founder of the Lincoln Project. So now I know who he is. But until he has got the ring of power, I will not listen to anything he says. He needs to get the ring of power.
He does. He basically looks like Schmeagol before Schmeagol went into the cave and was feeding off of carcasses of dead slugs. He looks like a fat little hobbit, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So basically, like
that's what he needs. That's what he needs to change the Lincoln Project to. Is my precious.
And the offer's open, Mr. Wilson. If you want to go ahead and talk to these MAGA tampon wearing sissy boys. I'm one of them. Please bring it.
I'm a free bleeder. I'm just kidding.
Well, someone said my tampon was lit on fire tonight. So anytime he wants to come on, I would love to debate him. I've seen him debate. He was on PPD. He's a bully. And I am more than acquiesced to accepting those terms because I can be a bully myself. I have no problem. Used to have a problem with bullies when I was 14 and 16, but I learned how to cope with them fairly easily. So whenever you're ready, sir, please come and educate us on why you're the purveyor of truth. When literally all you are is just someone who espouses lies and nonsense in order to garner support and more money for your fundraising to trash anyone you disagree with. Paul Rivera, Red Friday, brother, and I had a good day. Paul, that's great. You had a good day.
Thanks so much, Paul.
Yes, thank you.
209.84. We'll be right back.
Join WimKen.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at WimKen.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
Pete Booty Juice is back in the news.
He's my favorite dad.
He's my favorite too. I love his breast modulars to breastfeed his child. It's so fantastic. It's so manly. Listen, guy worked Intel. He's military. I got mad respect for his service. I have no problem with Pete Buttigieg. I don't like his policies. I don't like what he does. I don't like how he pretends he's something. Yeah. When he rode his bike into work, if they dropped him off with 6 SUVs, and he was a block away, that type of shit. I don't like what he did when it came to Palestine, Ohio. I don't like what he did by rerouting interstates because of salmon. He's just
a lot.
He's a douche. Okay. But I don't have a problem with him. He seems like a very articulate and bright guy at times. And then there's this, I want you guys to listen to this. Amy, I have taken down the left tonight with a long article. I haven't done this in a while. So I'm going to shut up in this one. I've got my own points I want to make. Olivia, same thing, but let you two listen to it. You guys can write down your notes. Tell me what you think. Little dinky. And let's go.
First of all, DEI stands for diversity, equity, inclusion, right? So to me, we start by thinking, okay, what's the opposite of those things? The opposite of diversity is uniformity, right? Mm-hmm. The opposite of equity is inequity. And the opposite of inclusion is exclusion. And I don't know a lot of people who think we'd be better off if our lives had more uniformity, inequity, and exclusion. Right? But I think that the part of why people have questions about it that I respect is they're not sure if they're worried about fairness, right? So to me, when you talk about some of these policies, the idea is to make sure everybody gets a seat at the table, especially if there have been systematic ways of keeping people from getting a seat at the table over the years, sometimes based on their race, on their religion, on their income, on their background, any number of reasons, sexuality, right? Like a lot of different reasons. And it's about...
Is it because they're white? Does that count? No? Okay.
Making sure that what we do going forward is fair. And this can be an economic issue too. You look at something like redlining. A lot of homeowners, families, would-be homeowners, especially black families, couldn't get homes in certain neighborhoods where the property value started to go up. So even if that happened to a family, 50 years ago, their kids are
couldn't have happened 50 years ago. Okay, Amy's going to fill that.
Living with the consequences of that now because their family has less wealth because they were kept out of a neighborhood where property values were growing, right? And so part of it's the idea that some of these things may have started a long time ago. Maybe nobody alive today is responsible for some of the injustice that has shaped what it's like to live in this country right now. But all of us now are responsible for doing something about it.
Who wants to go?
Oh, there's like a lot there.
I just have one question. What is up with the people with the red flags? Is this
it's like a show. It's like a podcast. It's actually
okay. Okay. What do they do with the red flags?
They get to talk next, and then they run for the seat. And go ahead, Amy.
It's like 30 liberals, I think. And then it's like 30 liberals versus one right-wing crazy person. So like, What's the guy on Daily Wire? He's on it. Not Matt Walsh, the other one.
Mike Knowles.
No, the other, like the main one. I can't think of his name.
Ben Shapiro. There's Matt Walsh.
Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro, like he's done it. Like they have like trans activists. It's like a fun thing. I don't watch it all the time, but I do catch it here and there. But it's interesting. It's interesting. You get a lot of different viewpoints. And yes, they like once they have a certain amount of flags, then you have to fight for that seat, and you get a certain amount of time, or you get to
fight to the death.
Because
Because that would make it more interesting.
I would love it. Yeah. I would feed on it. Please get me on that show. Everyone keeps telling me, Matt, why don't you interview Donald Trump?
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. Such a good idea.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'd love to get on that show. Liv, your thoughts on Pete Buttigieg?
Buttigieg.
If you have any, listen, because if you don't, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean,
because we can speed through this.
Whatever. He's got his own opinion, but the whole thing of the opposite of DEI. No, the opposite of DEI is meritocracy, and you earned it.
That's such
you earned your spot.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry,
Good.
but this whole DEI thing has just completely like taken out a whole bunch of people out of the running for stuff, particularly white people. Because they're out of DEI. They're not included in it because we don't have a different color skin. We're not a different,
Yep.
It's completely
He said
just
it.
dumb. Yeah.
He said it. I mean, he openly said that it's an open form of discrimination in a retaliatory sense. But see, the problem with DEI is, do you notice how he talked in absolutes? Where he said the opposite of diversity, the opposite of inclusion is exclusion.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite of equity is inequity. So what he's saying is it's absolutes. It's either to have or to have not, but there is a middle ground. And this is what the left doesn't understand, is you don't have to exclude people. What you have to do is, when you look at diversity, is instead of looking at as to be an indiverse population, is to look at representation with relevance. Simply to ensure that it's not left or right based on ideology, but it's relevant to have those people there. That is true diversity, and not diversity of the color of their skin or what their sexual disposition is, but diversity of thought, because that's the only diversity that matters, right? And when you talk about equity, it's not the opposite of equity, which is inequity. It's the middle ground between inequity and equity, which is the opportunity with accountability. See, that's what they don't understand. They don't understand that the middle is where you should be focused, and that both sides are wrong. Having all black workers is just as wrong as having all white workers, that there is a middle ground. But the point being is that if they are qualified and they're relevant to the position, and there's a level of accountability for their success, then all black workers might not be a bad thing in a situation where they are the most qualified, because this is where inclusion truly matters, is they need to belong through merit. Olivia said it, meritocracy. And if you take meritocracy, you take relevance, and you take accountability, then you have success. And you don't need to worry about diversity and equity and inclusion, because it's already baked into the model. What's frustrating about this whole thing that really drives me crazy is the whole thing about redlining.
Oh,
that's like 50 years. It's been 67 years. It's been 3 generations. 3 generations. 1938. We had the Fair Housing Act in 67. And if we had the Fair Housing Act in 67, you're not talking about having HUD homes. You're not talking about having opportunity zones. You're not talking about banks who actually are encouraged to lend to minorities and receive incentives and bonuses and subsidies from the government if you do so. There are many things that have created equality that are unequal that white people don't get. So this whole nuance that DEI and Pete Buttigieg is the savior and the great white hope for minorities is bullshit. Amy?
Well, on meritocracy a little bit, I still stand by this, and I think that we should get this into for a vote somehow, some way. I think that everyone should just be assigned a number, different than your social security number, but everyone should get a number, and that is how you apply for a job. That's how you apply for college. It's based off of merit. It has nothing to do with your demographics, what color your skin is, how old you are, male, female. It's just off of a number. Although I'm sure that can be rigged. Two, Harvard is dealing with a problem with the DEI because they're offering remedial math now. Harvard used to be like the top school, one of the top like 5 schools in our nation for decades. And now they're offering remedial math because they have let in people who can't hack it, because they were like, oh, we got to include more of this demographic. We have to have more of these people, more of this sex. And they suck and they can't hack it in Harvard because it's a hard school. I didn't go there.
Remedial.
Clearly. Yeah. Like I didn't even take remedial classes, and like I didn't get into Harvard. So, 2, the redlining is complete and total crap. I have been in real estate for way longer than I'd like to admit. And I'll tell you, our laws are we can't discriminate against anyone for anything, especially in Washington, D.C. You literally can't ask for anything. You basically have to just go, hey, if you want to, sure, like go ahead. I don't need to see any qualifications. It's not that way here in Virginia, and Maryland also isn't that bad, but in DC especially is like freaking ridiculous. But there are no redlining. Like there's no issues anymore with this. We are in a melting pot here. I can't tell you how many people I help that are not American. Actually, most of my clients are probably not born here in the United States. So, that's just, it is what it is. And if you're qualified to buy a house, you're qualified to buy a house. There's no fucking red line law. Sorry.
They should take off what your nationality is if you're white, Caucasian, on your job applications.
Sure,
they take it off completely. Yes. Why is that prevalent to you getting hired? Why? Why does it matter?
I always put human. Like I literally always just write in human. I'm like, I just write human. I'm human. My kids are human. You don't need their race. They're children. They're humans. Like you don't need anything else about them.
Well, you do when you're subsidized and paid because, okay. Anyway, so you do when you're subsidized. We're not talking about you. This is what Leroy does. He's like, no, I'm mad. I didn't do that. I'm like, we're not fucking talking about you, bro. But government agencies, retail companies, Fortune 500s are paid for their DEI compliance meters. And if they hire a certain amount of gay people, a certain amount of lesbians, a certain amount of blacks, a certain amount of Christians, a certain amount of this, they're rewarded with tax incentives and breaks to do so. And this meter gets them also recognition in global markets for being a standout who hires diverse, equity-based and inclusiveness, and they're rewarded for it with annual rewards, and you're the master of the fucking universe. The only problem is their productivity is in the shitter. And most companies who were involved in this realize this sucks. And all those things that they put in place to protect these people, now they want to fire them and they can't. And they are the demise of their own existence. This is what happened at Starbucks. Starbucks is like, okay, white males, no more. Let's hire all lesbians. And then all the lesbians were like, fuck it, let's form a union. And they're like, wait a second, what? They're like, we don't give a shit about you. You're a bunch of corporate greedy mother humpers. And we're going to go ahead and form a union. And Starbucks is like, how do we fire these people? You can't. Because you made them all protected classes with your fucking HIPAA laws and your HR who have made them untouchable. And you have created your own Frankenstein's monster. Anything else? Good enough. Cross-Eyed Mary is up next, and she wants to talk about trans people. And this should be fun for all of you. Enjoy this.
They're my favorite.
Thank you. Oh, I know they are.
Yeah, Musk has been retweeting posts saying things like 3 out of the 4 people arrested are trans or non-gender conforming. Now, there are claims circulating online that some of the people who have been arrested are trans or non-binary, and people are taking this off of social media accounts. We have not confirmed this ourselves, and authorities have not confirmed anything about their gender identity. And what Musk is doing, as he often does, he's just seeing things crossing his timeline, and he retweets them and he posts them without seemingly doing much research, even though he is sitting at the White House and he could probably get the best stats and research on what's happening. He also, though, began reposting claims that trans people are more violent than non-trans people. But here is a fact. Trans people are more than 4 times as likely to be victims of violent crime.
Okay. We're going to play a little game.
Oh.
Because this, first of all, she's not as cross-eyed as I thought. She's actually kind of good looking.
She has nice hair.
Yeah, she's very pretty. Stupid, dumb as dog shit, but pretty. Hey, Deborah Bogg, 1776. Keep being awesome. Keep being awesome-er.
Love it. Thanks, Deborah.
It's not a word. What percentage of transgender adults have attempted suicide? Since we're going to talk about stats, let's just do it.
Are we guessing? Yeah, I would guess over 50%. Yeah, somewhere.
41%.
Okay.
What percentage of trans-identify high schoolers seriously considered suicide?
No, this has got to be high, 65.
That's correct. 65% is the number. Trans youth are 2 to 3 times more likely to experience what than non-trans peers?
Suicide ideation and sexual violence.
Yeah.
Anxiety and depression.
Oh,
but close enough. Trans adults are blank more likely to use illicit drugs.
More likely?
70%.
What's the number?
70%.
One times likely, 2 times, 5 times, 100.
6 times.
5 times.
More likely.
3 times more likely. Trans teens are blank more likely to use cocaine and blank more likely to abuse prescription drugs.
I'll say 4 times.
I'll say
more
3.
likely.
Just take the middle. 3.5 times more likely to use cocaine, 2.5 times more likely to abuse prescription drugs. What percentage of transgender people report being sexually abused or molested?
75%.
70.
47%. Which percentage of those 47% say that they've been abused sexually underage by a loved one?
75%.
70%.
82%.
Yeah. We're bad at this.
Blank percent of trans women of color report sexual assault.
65.
55%. Trans individuals experience blank rates of intimate partner violence. Higher rates. Sorry.
Yeah, higher.
Blank transgender people were reportedly killed in the U.S. in 2023, mostly black trans women in inner cities. How many of those liberal? 100%. What's the number for bonus rounds? How many?
98.
Liv?
102.
Holy crap. You hate trans people. 19.
Oh,
I don't know. We're like,
I know you don't.
everything was high numbers.
Just pretend like
we truly, this sounds like we hate trans people.
What's interesting is I'll tell you why that's not true. Detransition rates vary, but a recent UK study found that blank percent of those who transitioned later detransitioned.
15%.
I was going to say 15% too.
16.9. Blank percent of youth with gender dysphoria historically desisted without medical transition, which means reverted back to normal with absolutely no transition at all. They just said, I'm a guy when I'm a girl, and they had gender dysphoria. This is the success rate to go back to what would be considered societal normal.
26%.
Yeah, I would say 25. So
90%.
Holy
left
cow.
alone.
So bad at this.
Go back to normal. Now, here's the thing. No, it's liberals who are bad at this because these are stats that I got banned for on TikTok because these are the true stats. These are the numbers they don't tell you about. They want to tell you about how people who transition don't commit any crime, and that's not true because if you look at the 12 most rampant and destructive shootings this year, 9 of them were transgender shooters, okay? So don't say it doesn't happen. It does happen, but the point is this, is it happens less. People say, well, Democrats don't do a lot of molesting children. Republicans do. I've got 375 cases of Democrats, and I've got over 500 of Republicans. You're right. Republicans edge out, but it doesn't matter. Political ideology shouldn't matter in this case. The thing is I am a bigger supporter of trans people because I know the numbers. And I don't want my kids a part of the demographic. Just like I don't want my kids hanging out with gangs and drug dealers. And it's because they are open and more susceptible to violence and bad things happen to them. And that is a travesty. The same people who have abandoned black people and Mexicans are abandoning the trans people by doing nothing to help them. Democrats don't give a fuck about you. Republicans may go ahead and say, we'll accept who you are, but we're not going to pretend who you are. And we consider it to be a mental illness and you need to get help. But Democrats will leave you to your own vices and allow you to continue to fail as long as you give them their vote. That is the truth about transgender people. Anybody want to comment on that?
I absolutely agree. I think this crisis, in scare quotes, as people say, I think it's an absolute atrocity to our youth. I do believe that there are people out there who truly identify as the opposite gender you were assigned at birth. Sorry, I can't even say it.
McMahon say that after.
But I will say, and I did a little thing about Dylan Mulvaney and his new podcast, and I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I feel like I'm a little bit obsessed with him because I talk about him all the time. And I emulate him with his, I think he could be like a fun person to hang out with. I believe, but he has admitted his own mental health struggles and his suicide ideology and having a lot of severe mental health struggles. He has said these things. I'm not accusing him. He has said these things. And I think it speaks volumes to say that these people who believe that they are transgender, I would assume the majority of them are having mental health struggles, especially anyone under the age of like 30 is probably struggling with some kind of mental health crisis in some way. I do know a lot of these people are sexually abused, whether they admit to it or not. I think that number was low. I think there are people who don't admit to it because there's a lot of shame there, and I can't blame them for that. And there shouldn't be shame. There shouldn't be a stigma to that. But a lot of people do turn to these outlier communities when they have gone through a traumatic event in their life. And I find it heartbreaking and extremely sad. And I just go back to my faith on this. And, I don't agree with them. I will not buy into the delusion personally, but it doesn't mean I don't like these people. It doesn't mean I disrespect these people. I genuinely pray for these people to find Jesus and accept his love because it is unconditional. And no matter what your sin is, you can be forgiven and you can find that unconditional love in Christ. And that's not getting into a Bible study. I'm just putting that there.
Liv.
Yes.
Well said.
I think that a lot of these stats are from the drugs and the medicine that these people take.
Sure.
To transition.
Sure.
Especially in young people.
Yeah.
That are still going through puberty. And it's messing with them mentally. And that's why they're all messed up.
Yeah, psychotropic drugs.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough to go through puberty as the gender you were born as, let alone taking puberty blockers and trying to go through puberty as the opposite sex and what you're not supposed to be.
Right.
It's going to mess with your head and it's going to put your brain on a path it was not meant to be on.
Correct.
And it's going to permanently mess it up.
Sure.
And then you've got these kids who are like, no, I'm a female. No, I'm a male. And you start wanting to take these drugs. And then you've got some who, they do it behind their parents' back, or the school helps them do it behind their parents' back. And they take something that wasn't meant to be taken, and it will mess with them. And then they get to be an adult and they hit their mid-20s and they're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a man anymore. I was born a female. I want to be female. And they've done horrible damage to their bodies, their minds, and it's irreversible damage. And that's probably where a lot of these suicides come from.
Yep.
Is they realize they really messed up and they cannot change it. They you know, females that were born female took too much stuff and they can't have babies now. And they can't, you know, and it's just, it's sad. It's really sad. And the fact that the left is pushing for children to transition is sad. If you can't get a tattoo without your parents' permission, if you can't drink, if you can't drive, if you can't smoke cigarettes, if you can't do certain things before a certain age, you should not be able to decide the rest of your life and do something life-altering. Because that's what they say drinking alcohol is. That's what they say getting a tattoo is. It's life-altering because it's altering who you are.
Yeah.
You should not be able to alter who you are under a certain age. It should be illegal.
Right. Well, if it's also, if this is a natural thing that takes place and you were born this way, then why do you need to market to children?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's to teach acceptance. By watching another man fellatio a little boy, that's not acceptance. That's, well, these books we know, they're in our state. So we fought against this shit. We've had this conversation so many times. And I'm not saying that transgender people are a threat to children. They're not. It's the activists who want to expose children to this at indiscriminate ages based upon the influence where they don't understand the difference between right or wrong, left and right, and can't conceptualize the magnitude of the decision that you're putting upon them. So if you sat here and say that a kid can't touch a gun until after 18 years old or 21 years old, which a lot of Democrats want to do, but they can make a decision that is life-altering about their sexuality at 6, you've got some serious fucking problems on your conscience that you're going to have to answer for, maybe not on this mortal coil with humanity, but certainly on the corporal plane. You're going to have some questions to answer. Folks,
I was going to say something else. It's like Ethan at 6. He wanted to be Spider-Man. Did I take him to the doctor to get stuff so he could make webs?
I tried. I dumped him in nuclear waste. It didn't work.
You know, I mean, he's almost 12 and he can't even... Yeah, he can't even remember to put chapstick on his lips because he gets chapped lips where it makes him look like he sucked a tailpipe. And he can't even remember to put chapstick on his lips.
Yeah, I told him he looked like a San Francisco prostitute who sucked off one too many Camaros today.
Seriously, it's like they don't, I mean, half these boys go to school with their zippers down and they walk around the school the entire day with their zippers down because they can't remember to pull them back up after they go to the bathroom. It's just,
So we have some people here who have children who are transitioning. The key word is you have children who are transitioning, and we understand it's hard. And that is why school systems should stay the fuck out of it and let you and your child and a psychiatrist or a doctor or a family friend or a priest, well, not a priest, a pastor, low blow, but have a conversation and make this a journey that is done with you and the family. And if you want the school to assist, then that is based upon your permission, not the federal government, not some fucking willy-nilly teacher who's 22 years old who has rainbow flags and has a nose ring. I'm sorry. You don't have children. Stay the fuck away from mine. Teach them STEM. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if a child walked up or a teacher walked up and started having conversations about sexuality with kids, they would be locked up in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away. So when Joseph talks about this, I have nothing but respect, dude. I have nothing but respect about what you've done with your child. And I remember these conversations. I'm not talking that I am advocating for transgender people because I know that people truly feel the need to do this and I respect them for it. I got no problem. It's just like, hey man, if you want to be a pilot, you go be a pilot. You want to be a doctor, you try to be a doctor. You want to be a housewife, you be a housewife. If you want to be a woman, that's your thing, man. Just don't expect me to depreciate what real women go through, and you and I are fine, and keep it away from my kids. That's the only thing. I'm not relegating this to adults. Adults can do what they want. And honestly, they should be taken care of and have just the same amount of opportunity as everyone else. There shouldn't be discrimination in the workplace. They can do whatever the fuck they want, but you don't get special privileges. You don't get special bathrooms. You don't get to have me call you a woman. You don't get to pretend you can get pregnant and that you have frickin' a period and menstruation. Enough. Leave the kids alone. We got to bounce. But last word. Go, Amy. It's on you.
No, I absolutely agree with everything you said, and I will take it one step further. And I don't know the full story. I'm not sure if I was present for that, and if I was, I apologize because I don't recall everything. But what I feel like there should be a caveat to that. If you do have a child who strongly feels they should transition, and again, I'm not a doctor, I don't pretend to be one, but they need to be prepared for that. For the mental challenge of you don't get special treatment. You're going to be an outlier. And it's sad, but that it is the way it is in our society. If you are different, it's going to be harder.
But that's none of your business. It's none of my business. It's their business.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's just something I think should be mentally. It's like, I don't know. I just worry for our kids. I just worry for our kids, man. I worry for our kids.
It's none of my business. It's none of your business. It's none of Olivia's business. They are the parents. Let them deal with it. Just like if my kid is hyperactive, I don't want, no offense, Ames, I don't want your fucking opinion.
Yeah.
If I come to you and ask you and say, listen, in which I have, we've asked you for help with our kids. That's completely different. I'm opening that door. That means your opinion's ready. But it's just like the people that tried to tell us what to name our children or what to do for them. Fuck you. I don't want your opinion. It's my kid. Unless you want to write me a check for $750,000, you don't get an opinion. I will defend people who are transitioning with kids that they need to do whatever they can do so their kid doesn't eat a bullet or hang themselves or overdose. And guess what? That is a slippery slope because my daughter went through the massive depression and I didn't want anyone's opinion. And it was all because one of my family members was manipulating my daughter and driving her against the people who she loved the most, her parents. And she came to us about 7 months ago and go, thank God you did what you did. Thank God you were as hard as you, because without you, I would have killed myself. I needed what you did. And my daughter now, we got out of the woods, but I had a family member that almost drove her to suicide because she was confusing her. She was shaming her for her weight. The shit that she was projecting on us. So I just look at it this way. It's hard enough to raise a kid, and people who don't know what's going on can muck it up. And I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying overall, I worry about kids too, but it's not my job. I got my own family to worry about. You worry about yours, I'll worry about mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still worry about everybody's kids. I worry about everyone's kids. I love kids. I just I just genuinely worry about our society and the children that are spending time with my kids across everything. I genuinely want the best for our children collectively.
Yeah. I'm with you. And I'm with you. And I hate to say it, but I think that parents know what's best for their kids. And the ones that don't, we have to pray to God that we can recognize the signs and watch them and see them. And if I notice that someone's being abused, I will get involved. But that's different. And I know what you're saying. If you see that abuse, you have to say something. But I'm going to default to parents. Just like I'm always going to default to the Constitution. I'm always going to default to the reserve powers of the states. I'm always going to protect parental rights because I know what it's like to have people butt in and not know what the fuck is going on and almost ruin my life because they're not aware of what was really happening with my child. So let's do this. We're almost out of here, folks. We don't usually mention until 8:30, but it's almost an hour past that. $227.60 out of 300. These shows are awful expensive to run. If you have not had a chance to donate and it's something you like to do for the show, please, now is the time. We're almost running our last segment. This is always stressful because we look at it and it's a lot. So do us a favor, please. If you have not donated, thedumbshow.com/donate. It is 100% private if you want it to be, but you can also leave a little message if you want. We'll put it up on the screen and obviously say thank you. If you can't donate, that's fine. Like it. We've got over 400 people who have watched the show at any given time. And we have 110 likes. So that's not very good. That's 25%. Let's get it up to 50. Everyone spam the like button, share it. And if you can give $1 or $5 or $10 or $100, please do, because it helps us keep the lights on. Here is a quick spot, and then we're going to come back with the Department of Education and then go.
Yes. Run potty. Really potty.
Go.
It's not like I'm running to the bathroom.
You have go 67 seconds. Go now.
Your time.
Hurry.
It all matters.
Boom,
Most
boom,
of you
boom.
spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix. Maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time. And we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or Mail, every bit helps to keep us going.
Turn off
Dumb
the fan.
Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
Was that you're going to give me a foot massage? Or
Yeah,
I
I'm going
need
to give
you one.
You don't give me a foot massage. Gross. I'll give you a foot massage. I love our new little coffee cup. Just spills over. Folks, Department of Education. I wanted to wait until Amy was here, but this is going to be very, very quick. Because it's been a long week. I'm really, really tired. It's exhausting. This job sucks sometimes. I'm tired. Woe is me. Do we have a violin or something we can play? Amy's back.
You've got the soundboard.
Yes, we do. Amy's back. And Department of Education, here it is. Listen. And then I'm going to say, show a graphic, and then I want to get to R3.
McMahon say that after they fired half of their staff, that we wouldn't feel a difference. But we felt a difference the very next day when parents and students were calling in to get help with their financial aid. We know educators are feeling it right now, where school districts are making decisions about their budget, and they're feeling it right now. The reality that they will not have arts and music, the reality that they will not have after school programs, the reality that they will have larger class sizes, the reality that over 400,000 of our educator jobs, that's teachers and support staff, are funded by the federal government. That will have an impact on all of our schools. All of our public schools will feel that. Real schools, real students in those schools. Because the reality is, Katie, and you know this, 90% of our students go to public schools, and 95% of our students with disabilities go to our public schools. This is not okay.
Oh my God.
I have a question.
Yeah, can I blow her out of the water first? No. Okay, go.
My question is, when was the last time a student in K through 12 needed a student loan to go to school? Just curious as to why $260 billion of that budget for education is going to student loans.
Well, Lisa, I'm going to answer that question for you.
Yeah, that's where I'm confused.
I've got it for you.
Okay.
Donald Trump. What? Go ahead, Amy.
No,
Guys, I'm just trying to get us off the fucking show, okay? I want the night off. It means shut up and let me power through this, please. No, go ahead, Amy. Seriously. Joking.
No, you go, and then I
No.
read everything I wrote earlier.
No, you go. No, you go.
No, you go.
You go.
I don't want to repeat anything you already have planned. So just go.
Well, that's okay. Listen, Trump does not want to dismantle, you fucking morons. It's that the U.S. Department of Education is a redundancy. The Office of Civil Rights, which is a part of the DOE, can go with the Department of Justice. Special education would go under Health and Human Services. Federal loans can go to Small Business Administration, the Secretary of Treasury. It's redundancy. It's a waste. You don't need it. That's number one. Okay? Number two, Office of Federal Student Aid, $160.7 billion. Office of Elementary and Secondary, $83 billion. Office of Post-Secondary, $3.5 billion. And Office of Special Ed and Rehabilitation is $20.7 billion. Federal and student aid is the $160.7. You wonder why we're failing? And then elementary and secondary education, the two things that are not important, to the bottom two, which is Special Rehabilitative and Office of Post-Secondary Education, are getting the least amount. But the federal budget, folks, is only 4%. This lady's saying 56% of all federal jobs are a portion of the 4%, but it only makes up an infinitesimal amount of their budget. States provide for schools. The federal budget is nothing. So therefore, just pass the federal dollars on to the states and let them spend it where they deem necessary. If we're going to give $268 billion to education, and it only is indicative of 4%, that's a drop in the bucket. Take it off the federal budget by giving it to these other agencies that have the ability to execute what their responsibility is versus creating a top-down, unnecessary extra layer of complexity to education. Because here's why, because your results suck.
Yeah.
That's why. So why do we want to get rid of the DOE? Because you fucking suck at it. That's why. And the only reason you want to keep it is to keep the money for the unions and to go ahead and justify tenure with teachers because it's the largest voting demographic that you asshats have left. And you own the schools. That way you can indoctrinate kids and create the next generation of fucking idiot crats who won't realize till 35 that they don't have a pot to piss in because they can't get jobs and you tax the living shit out of them and you can't afford a house anymore. And then they say, fuck this, I'm going to become a conservative. Because that's what happens. And this is the never-ending cycle of this suckhole of a department. You're still going to get your fucking money. You're still going to get your NEA. You're still going to get your after-school programs. But what we're saying is the states are going to be responsible for it versus a federal bureaucracy. Okay? I'm done. Can you tell it's Friday? Go ahead, Amy.
Jeez.
Or Liv.
The Department of Education was created out of a desire for federal control, not to help our children. I have so much written about this.
Go ahead.
You know what? It's very long. Do you want to read the whole thing? It's long.
It's long?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. The Department of Education.
Like Matt Long or Leroy Long?
It's like
It's
8
Matt Long.
paragraphs.
Oh my God. Surmise. Give me.
Yes, I believe that the Department of Education is unconstitutional. It was never intended to be a federal program. It's always been intended for it to be a state-run program. However, under Jimmy Carter, which we all know, he made it a federal program. Ever since that, we have been funneling money into this Department of Education, which is being sifted through bureaucrats in DC and not being given to our schools and homeschool, any local educations, essentially. The National Assessment of Education Progress, the NAEP, also known as the nation's report card, show that student test scores in math, reading, and science have been stagnant or declining for years. We rank embarrassingly low compared to other developed nations, and the federal government's involvement has done nothing but make the problems worse. So, with our $800 billion plus budget, we have not improved our education. We have not improved our literacy rates. We have not achieved that to close the gap on education. We have not strengthened our students on an academic standing globally. So against everyone else, every other like westernized country, it's just bloated bureaucracy and federal overreach. If you look at Florida and Arizona, they are the only states who have the government that will stand up to the feds and say, no, we're going to take this into our own hands. And they are succeeding. They have higher graduation rates. They have school choice. They have the voucher program there. And their states are way outperforming the rest of the lower 48. I don't know about Hawaii and Alaska, was not included in my personal research, but way outperforming. So essentially, with Common Core and other, one size fits all mandates that have been passed down from these bureaucrats in DC, like we're completely failing. So essentially, It's unconstitutional. Give the money back to the states. Let the parents decide. Let local governments, local communities decide. We need to vote locally because we need to decide where this money goes for our children.
Right.
We care where these kids are growing up. They're going to come back to our communities and live here and work here. So we should be deciding what the education that these children are receiving should be.
Yes.
Not the freaking federal government.
Right.
Sorry, you're losing your job.
We need more choice. If SpaceX and Tesla didn't teach everything on how to solve the education problem in this country, have more choice. You want to solve health insurance? You want to solve health issues? Have more choice. The more competition we have with the U.S. government, which means private industry, drives the U.S. government to be frugal and to increase their overall standards. That is what will do it. Meritocracy. Hands down, more competition breeds lower prices. If you don't believe me, look at the console wars. If you don't believe me, look at TVs. If you don't believe me, look at the price of eggs. Oh, we're going to start bringing in eggs from Turkey. Now where are we? We dropped the prices in a fucking week.
Oh, freaking $8.79 still on Tuesday. I'm waiting.
Well,
nope, $7.39 at Walmart.
Oh,
they're
changed.
dropping. My point is that you go ahead and say, fine, we're not going to go ahead and have these eggs. We're going to bring them in from overseas. That's what happens, folks. You have competition. And Turkey says, well, we'll go ahead and give you eggs at 75% cheaper than everybody else if you can commit to a 6-month contract. JD Stillwell, 19 is the amount of points won by Wildcats tonight. Have a great weekend. $19. Hey, it gets us closer to our goal, folks. We're $64 away. $54 away. Need some help. We're on the last segment right now. Liv, did you have anything to say on DOE?
Yeah, it definitely needs to be dismantled and given back to the states and local, to the school districts. And I think that the school boards the races have been funded by the DOE, so they get their crappy school board members in.
Truth.
And I think it needs to be completely out. Federal government needs to be out of local schools. And on top of it, they need to stop all this freaking testing. Our kids get tested 4 times a year.
4.
It doesn't go on their grades. It's not for report cards. All it is standardized testing to see where they are. It needs to stop. I remember I did it twice, one in 2nd grade and one my senior year. And that's it for 13 years of school. They needs to stop because Hayden's not a good tester. So a lot of the times she just flies through it and just answers whatever.
She will be when she gets a little older and gets more disciplined. So, she's still at school. She's at school. She's at school right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's still there.
I'm not picking up till 10.
When
8 o'clock. No, she goes to school.
I was like, this girl is like, she's not my kid, so I feel like I can speak to this a little bit. Like when you got, I was like, how long I was like, Hayden, did you go home today before I picked you up from school? She's like, no, I've been at school all day. I'm like, so you were at school since like this morning and it's 7 o'clock. I'm picking you up. She's like, yeah. I'm like, that girl, I'm like, and she's telling me about her classes and the amount of testing and like the extracurriculars and the chorus and all this. I'm like, holy cow.
Can't stop her.
Hard. She works hard.
Hayden has her mommy's work ethic with her dad's drive when she loves something. She's very, because I'm obsessive compulsive. That's why this podcast, you just look at the progression in 6 months where we were to what happened when we first started and look now. I mean, we constantly are tweaking. We're constantly making it better. We're always focused on something. So she's obsessive compulsive in that way, and so is her dad. And that's what makes her great. But her mom's work ethic is ridiculous. Olivia has the hardest work ethic of any human being I've ever met in my life. It is incredible how dedicated she is, almost to a fault. Like there's times where I'm like, your family needs you. She never had to say that to me as a corporate executive. I was always available. But she is loyal. She doesn't call in sick. She pushes herself no matter what, and she's amazing. Folks, we have to move. We are literally $54 down. It's been tough. It's been a tough month. I think what happened is that what was supposed to happen in January and February, people pushed really hard to help us because they knew that it was going to be tough. You're doing everything you can. We appreciate you. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to. That's not what we want. But this is our tough month. March has been really slow for us, and that's okay. We understand. If you can help, great. But we're going to miss it sometime. It's going to happen, and I'm okay.
Please don't I will have a mental complex if we miss it tonight and I'm on because I don't usually do Fridays. So if you guys, I'm guilting you. I'm guilting you, and I will literally like this will hang over my heart.
She will haunt your dreams.
It's
It will,
totally
and
fine.
I
Our
won't
slowest
sleep.
nights have been with it.
It's
Amy,
always
I
me.
can't hear your mic. Our slowest nights have been with her. So
Yeah.
just please, somebody throw us some money so we don't have to fucking hear it. Because like we have to. I'm almost having to pay you guys because she's on. You get it?
I can still hear you. You can't hear me.
Twice.
Help us. We'll be right back.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
Amy's just kidding.
And I lied. It's 7:34 for eggs, not 7:39.
It doesn't matter. That's still better than 12. Olivia's going to walk us through our closer. We are officially in overtime right over Amy's head. We'll move that down here. Olivia, walk us through it. What are we talking about? What's our overtime about, please?
Yes. So R3, most everyone knows about him. He is our nephew who is going through treatment for testicular cancer. They found it originally in 2023, December 2023. He had one of his testicles removed. And he was cancer-free after that. And then earlier this year, they did some scans on a checkup, and it had actually spread to the other testicle, some of his lymph nodes, and into his neck. So now he is going through some pretty rigorous treatment. He actually was off this entire week to give him a break, but then next week he goes 5 days, Monday through Friday, for 6 hours of infusions each day. And he's handled it like a champ. And to be completely honest, he is a total inspiration. He's only 22, and he is the most positive human being I've ever met in my entire life, because his outlook on this, he has just been smiling and happy and optimistic the entire time. He is an inspiration, and he's just awesome. But he's a firefighter, and the firefighting community and the entire community in Bakersfield has just rallied around him. So it's pretty awesome. So
yeah, I don't think Amy was guilting people. I think she was kidding, by the way. So they made him a pancake fundraiser, and these flapjacks, dude, I love my pancakes. And ever since I've been, taking care of my body lately, which Amy said I looked absolutely fucking amazing at the shoot. She couldn't believe it. She's like, oh my God, it's a transformation. And I think of Adonis when I saw you, which is very nice of her to say those things. To see that verbatim. So good. But those do look fantastic. A little blueberries would be good. But I like my pancakes like that. I like them completely discombobulated. I want them half puffy, half falling apart, a little bit of burnt. Okay, I don't care. Just cover that with some butter and some maple syrup. Holy moly. But this is the entire firefighter team. They raised a lot of money for him, and it's just amazing to see. I showed you that picture, and there he is. He's just your little finger.
Definitely related to you. Definitely.
Yeah, he looks like a conehead without the makeup. So he's doing well. He's holding in there. He's got a great attitude. We talk to his mom all the time, and we just wanted to give you guys an update on who he is. Joanne Lutman sent $64. Good show. Thank you, Joanne. We appreciate you so much. That pushes us over. And once again, it's you guys are godsends.
Amazing.
I think Olivia is hitting the donations now and putting them in. Amy, why don't you take your 1 minute? That's it for the show tonight. I had a lot of fun. It was a good show. It was good to yell a little bit. Bobby Richardson, which would not be a Bobby night. Truth and love, the best thing ever. Thank you so much, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby.
Amy, you get 1 minute for us tonight since you said all those wonderful things about me at the shoot. Go ahead.
I did. It's. I hope there was a recording of that so we can prove it later in court.
I've got it somewhere.
Somewhere. I'm so glad to hear this update for R3, first of all, because I do pray for him every single night. And I'm just really, really happy to hear that he's doing well, because it's testicular cancer is I might be wrong, but I'm pretty certain I'm not. It's the toughest treatment that there is. You get
highest
chemo.
survival rate, low, very intense.
It's like 5 days on, and it's like 3 different chemos from what I remember. And it's like you get 5 days on for like a month, and then you get like a week off maybe, and then it's like 5 days for a month again. It's really, truly hard. And like horrible chemo, like the chemo drugs are just the worst ones that you can get, but it can be completely cured. So I'm confident he will be cured. And I'm going to keep praying for him and all of you. I do pray for all of you every night as well. That includes all the dummies and everyone watching. But, I just appreciate all of you. It's been a fun night. Thanks for having me on Friday, because it's been a minute. It's been fun. And now I'm going to go
It's been a minute.
bed because I got to get up because rugby's at 8 a.m. So, yeah.
Maddie Hownitz says, in honor of R3, keep fighting, young man. He will. The kid is I'm going to have to go and see. He's probably going to like milk this as much as he can. And so I have to fly out there and go see his ass. And then I will, and he'll be.
I think once he's in remission, there's going to be a wedding.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going. I can't wait. I can't wait to get shit faced and do Mazel Tov and break a glass or two with Megan and embarrass everybody and get shit for schnickled.
Oh yeah, we're totally going out.
Oh, we're totally fucking going to California. We're gonna fucking embarrass the shit out of the Ravens. We love them. And then I want to get him out here too, and I want to get him on the show. I love this kid, and I want him to be very, very happy and be able.
There's Megan. She's on.
Oh
She's
yeah, we're
like,
gonna have a fucking blast.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. Oh yeah, harder.
Yeah,
So,
Megan, just so you know, you make me cry every time you send me those videos, but keep sending them.
Oh.
She said,
Megan, the videos you send me don't make me cry. I'm just letting you know. Don't stop those fucking things. I don't care that we're cousins by blood. Trust me, I'm good with it.
No, she sent me the video, the news one this morning, and I was getting ready for work when I watched it.
Those videos.
Yeah. Those videos.
Completely different.
Megan, how come you don't send me the videos you send Matt? Come on. Just,
it's
we're not related.
Lovers. That's what we are. I don't have much else. Liv, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I appreciate everyone. Thank you for the donations. But I have to go pick up Hayden. She's been at school since 8:30 this morning, and she is really going to want to leave at 10. So I need to go.
We'll go put the dog in the car. Listen, this is just going to take 1 second. If you have not been over to thedumbshow.com, we've got great coffee, hats, everything else over there. Please go take a look. But also, one of the most popular, the shirt that Amy's wearing, you can get your own of it, your name, and your won't be on there, by the way, but it'll have your name and then thedumbshow.com. It is a great looking shirt. They are very, very cool. We've got them in t-shirts, tank tops, everything else. They're available. Please fill out the notes. When you add it to cart, it's real simple. You click add to cart, and then when you go into check out, there will be a notes tab. Make sure you put the notes in there and just put your name in. That's simple. And we will go ahead and make sure we get you a very cool shirt. My name is Matthew Spear. That's Olivia. That's Olivia. That's Amy. And we'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Thank you for letting us hit goal. We appreciate you. Liv, are we good?
So much. Yep, we're good. We're golden. Thank you,
Megan says that's what she said. Okay. Good night, everybody. God bless. R3, we love you. Amy, we love you. Thank you for a great show. Olivia, love you. Love everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Love y'all.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.